Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hey, is it finally Friday?
It's Friday.
Spring break Friday, because spring break is a little bit different.
All of the parents are sitting at home right now saying, I am so thankful that my kids are going to be able to finally go back to school. I can finally breathe.
Wow.
Spring break is almost over.
Well, spring break has been fun so far. Today, it feels like it's chilly, at least here. I don't know where you're watching. You could be watching from anywhere.
Africa.
Yeah. What's
Somewhere.
up, Patrick? Hanging out. We're hanging out today at Legacy Collision in Hitchcock, and this is exciting because we're actually in like the garage is what I'm going to call it, but this is where they repair the cars. If you are paying attention right now, you'll probably see people walking by, cars driving in and out. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. We're excited to be here. Shout out to Legacy Collision Hitchcock for allowing us to come in and have a show mobily today.
Yes, so we are in their garage. There's tons of stuff going on. This feels like home to me. I don't know if you know this or not about my life.
I've been in your apartment. It doesn't quite look like this.
Okay,
What do you mean?
This isn't like my apartment kind of home, but
okay.
my dad actually owned a full-service gas station when I was growing up. And they would do like oil changes and work on cars, and they had a big shop kind of similar to this. But they didn't do like repairs on cars. So it's a little different, but it still feels like home. It smells like home.
I like
put it that way.
Well, you know what? I noticed whenever the table we're using is one that was custom made out of pallets. And if you're watching right now on Facebook, you can see between me and Kurt right here, our shoulders, that's like a paint box. That's what I'm calling it. I'm sure it has a custom, like a real name.
Right.
But that's where they go in and actually like paint and bake the cars. But they this table was made out of the pallets and the boxes that was shipped here in. So that's really cool.
So
it smells good. I smell the wood from the pallet.
So if you're looking behind us here, this big white building, that's actually where they do all the painting of the cars. And so we're going to learn more about that. We're going to bring Legacy Collision in here and talk to them here in a little bit. But we also have a really cool show that's happening today. We're focusing on kind of this area, not necessarily just Hitchcock, but Santa Fe, this side of League City, and Hitchcock as well. So we're going to be talking to Fob on Me, Bistro and Grill. They just opened up their seafood that is right here on this side of League City. So you can take over like 646 to get there. We're also going to be talking to a doctor in our area. We're going to be talking about towing, and then we're going to be talking to the new police chief of Hitchcock.
It's going to be a good show. I'm excited. If you're watching on Facebook, let us know. Go ahead and chime in. Say, hey, what do you have going on today? Let us know. Say hi. Good morning to you. It is Friday. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. I'm so excited to start the day with you. It's 8:37 a.m. We're going to try and keep it positive today. We're going to keep it fun today, keep it light. So if you want to get involved, feel free to text us 346-704-1806. We are broadcasting live. We're streaming live from Legacy Collision in Hitchcock, Texas. Whenever we got here, one thing I noticed, I was like, man, what time do they open? Because there were cars everywhere, all in the parking lot. But some of these cars are being repaired. Some of these cars, I think, might have had hail damage. The other day, do you remember it hailed? I know it didn't hail at your house, but at my house, it came down hard.
And that affects cars.
Big
because
time.
I remember when I was young, I had a car. It was a Pontiac Sunfire. It was a red Pontiac Sunfire. What a car to have.
Okay, let me just comment a little bit on the Sunfire. That's, if you're driving around high school in the Sunfire, you're the cool guy on campus.
Here's the best part is there were like 4 other people who had a Pontiac Sunfire.
Same color?
Same color.
Okay.
Apparently the key works in all 4 cars. Because there was one time when a friend said, hey, by the way, you're welcome. And I was like, for what? I'm like, I literally drove your car to the gas station, filled it up with gas, and realized it was the wrong car. And I'm like, that's funny.
Thank you. So Sunfire said the keys work for all of them.
But it hailed really, really bad. And so my hood had like pings. You could see where they hailed. Because in Nebraska, it hails. Like Nebraska, it hails. Like I haven't seen it hail like it does there.
Yeah. But it hailed here the other day.
It did.
And a ton of my neighbors, maybe their vehicles are too big or they have too many. I'm not sure what the deal is, but they all park their cars in the driveway, sometimes on the street. I like to have mine in the garage just because if it hails, I don't get any hail damage.
Right.
Right? But I know there was a bunch of cars that probably got some damage. So I noticed walking through the lot, and you pointed it out as well, there was cars with like green circles on them, like all over. And it was like, hey, those look like little dings.
They did. So I think they were changing up the dings. I made sure that I made a few more on there that weren't covered in the green. Like as we were getting out of the car, I'm like, oops, my car door just hit this car.
Yeah.
Parked at Legacy Collision just so that Legacy Collision could get a couple more, dollars for those extra dings that I just put in that new car.
So if you're watching on Facebook, we have cameras set up throughout Legacy Collision. If you want to come and hang out, maybe come and meet the owners, they are here. If you want to just give a call. I don't know. I know Angie's here, and we have everybody's hanging out here as well, but Angie's at the front desk right now, and we actually took a shot a little while ago. If you're watching on Facebook, you kind of saw the entryway. So if you want to come in, you can probably just do a little dance and we'll put you on.
What Angie doesn't know is that the camera is actually sitting in her office. We just haven't taken that camera yet.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. We're not supposed to tell them that.
She's probably excited about it now. So yeah.
Actually, it's in the front lobby. Angie, you're okay. You're okay for now.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time to join us. Feel free to share this stream out. We're going to be talking about all things Hitchcock, Santa Fe, League City, Dickinson area. We have a packed show today. We're live at Legacy Collision in Hitchcock, Texas, where we're going to be getting into a little bit of everything. I'm hoping, and if you look behind us, which I know the camera shot, yeah, you can probably see right now, but there's some of these doors, and there's like hoods of cars, and we were wondering if we could just use that as our desk and as our table. Like, can we take one back to the studio, though?
Oh, wouldn't that be cool to have a hood of a car?
Will the people get upset? Will the people someone's like, hey, that's my car. I really need that. We'll have to find one to make that available. It would take it up to the next level.
This is really kind of cool to see this it's different to be out of the studio, back here with all of these devices, all these tools. I just want to know if there's like any tools that I could play with.
I hope not. I'm looking in. There's tools literally everywhere. Tools all over the place. Hey, I want to say good morning to Chris. Shout out to Chris and his family business, Santa Fe Water Services. They've been doing it in the community for a long time. But we recently realized they're doing an event for Easter. Did you see that event?
I did. They're doing that on the weekend before Easter, where you can go and drop off food and supplies to a place in Santa Fe, right?
Yeah, you drop it off. And so what the plan is they're going to be feeding families for Easter, because they mentioned, around the holiday time, around certain times, there's, events where it's like, hey, we're going to feed someone for Thanksgiving. We're going to help feed our community during Christmas. But why not all the time? Why not more time? So like Easter, I've never seen anybody do that. Like, hey, we're going to do like an Easter dinner, an Easter meal, make sure that families are taken care of, because that's a big family time as well. So that's a great idea, Chris. We're going to help you get the word out about that. Shout out to Santa Fe Water Services and everything they do. We need to get them hooked up at both of our houses, so that way the water will be just a little bit better.
Just a little bit better. Just a little bit better. Help that iron that makes my body so awesome.
Some orange?
Some orange.
But you like that orange tan.
I like the orange tan.
A little Oompa Loompa-ish.
Oompa Loompa.
Right?
Sure. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so Santa Fe Water Service, thank you for your partnership with KHEA Radio. One of the things I want to do as we move forward in this show, we have a busy packed show, so I want to make sure that we get everything. I want to get Legacy Collision in studio so that we can, not in studio, but on camera, ready to go. Are you guys ready to talk a little bit about Legacy Collision?
We got 2 chairs.
All right, you want to come on over here?
If you're listening on 99.5 FM, thank you so much for starting the day, starting the morning. We believe we're going to impart some positivity and some good information to you. But we are in Hitchcock. We're streaming live. This is 99.5 FM, KHEARadio.com. Thank you so much for joining us today. And we have the owners. We have the powerhouses, 2 of the people that make it possible at Legacy Collision. Thank you so much for joining us today and allowing us to do our show here. How are y'all doing?
Thank you for joining us, actually.
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us. So we're excited to be here. So if somebody doesn't know where Legacy Collision is, can you tell them exactly where it is? What's the address here?
So it's very easy to get to. Even if you're coming from the Clear Lake area, you would go down 45, take the 2004 exit into Hitchcock, come all the way down 2004 past Highway 6. When you see the blimp base, we are just past the blimp base. The address is 7887 FM 2004.
We should have had a blimp base cam, Kurt. I wonder how far that would have.
Ethan, can you open up this garage door and shoot out at the blimp base? He's looking at me if I'm being serious or not.
Because it's cold this morning, and Ethan's like skinny.
Can you climb the blimp base, Ethan, and just get a shot down? No.
No?
No, okay.
So somebody tag Joe Wilburn. He might be able to make that happen today.
Wow. We'd love that.
Angie, I just saw that you tuned in. Will you please tag at Joe. That'd be great. So let's talk a little bit about what's going on behind us, because there's a lot going on. What is taking place? Can you walk us through kind of the stations?
So right behind us are car parts that are sitting there that are either just been painted or getting ready to go into the paint booth, which is that big white box.
There's our painter, Rich.
There's our painter, Rich. He's
okay.
he's
You're on
the
the
coolest
camera.
painter in the area right there. He's a wonderful Christian man, and he's here first thing in the morning. He gets busy. He's probably the hardest worker you'll ever see. And then kind of to the side of us, these are all our body bays. And so this is where the actual, correction happens with the body parts before it goes into the paint booth. And we've got a large crew of body men. So some of them, they're like my brothers. They have been with me for over 20 years. So they're family.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So they were working, kind of in this space whenever we got here, and we're like, hey, is it okay if we're out here? So how much are we like throwing back the work? And if anybody's car's here, can they be like, is it still going to get done on time? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Friday is kind of our wrap-up day, so we like to take cars in on Monday, and we try to have them as completed as possible by Friday so that the guys can go home and spend some time with their family.
Mm-hmm.
So Friday is kind of a wrap-up day. It's one of those days where we kind of wrap up what we've done for the week and, get some cars to go home.
Yeah, putting the pieces back together.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, Kurt. Hey, we're working on some tacos. What kind are those?
I don't know. Angie brought these tacos for
Put this
us.
on the floor or something.
Where
Okay.
These came from where?
La Frontera.
Okay.
And they have one in Hitchcock and one in Santa Fe. They also have one in Dickinson. When I first met the people that own La Frontera, I went to the one in Dickinson. They have the best cheese enchiladas. It's the grandma that sits and cooks in the back. She cooks amazing. The red sauce is good. The breakfast burritos are fantastic, and they're filling. They're huge.
These are giant.
They're giant.
I
They're
split
really
one with
good.
Ethan.
They're good share burritos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess Angie
What happened?
got some for us.
Where is Angie, and why is she not on the stream yet?
Angie is, she's.
I'm trying to see if she's in the front office there. Who's manning the desk?
Nobody.
Nobody's manning the desk.
I'm so glad that you've got it so that we can see if somebody comes in.
Just checking, making sure.
Cool.
So
So-
talk.
Wait, I want to know, because it was someone's birthday the other day, right?
It was her birthday.
No?
It was the little sister's birthday.
One year older. Yay. So excited.
Yeah. That's
She's-
exciting. So did you have a special day? Like, what did you get to do for your birthday?
Well, I took the kids to see the Marvel movie, because that's what you do when you're a mom. You take your kids to see a movie. And then we went to Barnes & Noble, picked out some books, and then I had breakfast for dinner in bed. So that was the perfect dinner for me. So,
Perfect day.
yeah, perfect day. Microphones.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure we get that one going. But yeah, so that does sound like a good day. So you went and saw the Marvel movie? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Is it any good?
It's really, really good. Yeah, it's kind of set back in the 90s.
Yeah.
So it kind of gives you a little bit of back story. So yeah.
Cool.
Is it working?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. But so that's cool. I want to go see that movie. If you've seen it and you're watching on social media, let us know, because
Really
is it
good.
worth going? Because
Yes.
for me, I have pretty young children, and I have to see, is it worth it getting a babysitter, like doing all this stuff? And it has to be really good.
Always worth that. Yes. Spending time with your wife. Get the sitter. Go. Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. Date night. Yes.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, we're excited to be here, and we are excited to have this opportunity. All these shots look really cool. If you're not watching on Facebook, you're missing out. Make sure you go check out KHEA Radio's Facebook page. Hit the like button. If somebody's going to find Legacy Collision, you'll have a social media, like Facebook page and everything, right?
Absolutely. We have Legacy Collision on Facebook, and then we also have a website, legacycollisiontx.com.
Hey, Ethan, will you go get some shots really fast around the shop here so that we can kind of show off kind of everything that you guys have going on? We met you guys. When did you guys open? It was in like August of last year, September.
We
y'all-
actually opened in
June.
July.
Oh,
but
you opened in-
We
okay.
had
The
our
cutting.
grand opening party in August.
And y'all are a member of a couple chambers, right?
We are. So we are members of the Santa Fe Chamber and the Hitchcock Chamber.
Okay. So we were excited to be here. We thought that was maybe our first ribbon cutting to ever go to.
I think
you
it
guys.
was here. And we showed up, and we had no idea what to expect. We had heard that it was like, hey, you got to go check out this place that just opened in Hitchcock. And we're like, well, Hitchcock, that's in our backyard. We got to go. And we showed up. Talk about what it's been like for you guys to just be finally now coming up on 1 year. What has this year kind of held for you guys so far, and what's next?
You want to tell them what you've learned so far?
Oh, it's been definitely a journey. I never expected it to be so amazing and stressful all at the same time. But yeah, it's just been a huge learning experience, and being able to do it together as sisters has been so special and so wonderful. And then my brother-in-law also, and with Angie. And so we're excited. We are excited for the 1 year mark to celebrate. Yes.
Do you think there needs to be more ladies in the collision and car repair industry?
Absolutely.
All industries. Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, women in this industry, we actually tend to be a little bit more detail oriented. So where the guys have their strength is they have their strength with, being able to get a task completed once we tell them the full task. So women are very strong in this industry. They make fantastic estimators. We even know some women that actually paint, which is very good because, like I said, they are detail oriented. So yes, females are extremely strong in this industry.
Yes. Do you think there needs to be, I guess more like we already asked about more ladies in the industry, but like this month is Women's History Month.
Yes.
And maybe there should be more spotlight on y'all because, as far as we know, like 2 ladies owning a collision and body shop. I mean, is there any others?
No, the only 2 ladies I know about that are in the industry of the car, and there's 2 ladies in Dallas that I know of that have a mechanic shop. But other than that, do you know of any other?
I personally don't. I know husband and wife teams, a lot of husband and wife teams,
Yeah.
but where it's
Really great husband and wife teams. Yeah, some really great.
Just not as great.
right.
As you
And we hate to take away from them.
Yeah.
Because they're great in their, in their area, but we're the best in this area. So.
And y'all have been pretty busy since y'all have opened. Whenever we come in, we always see there's a ton of cars.
Yes.
And there's actually some feedback of people saying like, hey, they did a good job on my Lincoln, or there was some other stuff where people said, hey, we love them. Y'all rock. They did a great job on my car. Do y'all do any paint work on motorcycles? Chris wants to know.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
actually have already.
Yes, we actually fixed. She's a Galveston County EMS, and she has a beautiful black Harley and
Very sparkly.
And it got tipped over, so the tank was damaged on it. So we actually repainted that for her.
How about if something isn't necessarily damaged, but somebody wants something like a custom color, like, hey, I want to get it painted green, but it used to be blue. Is that something that y'all do?
We do, but we try to limit the amount of custom work that we do. The reason is just it fills up the shop. It tends to become a little bit stagnant, and people don't understand that how much it actually takes to completely change a color on a car. It takes a lot of work.
Yeah, that does seem like it'd be, because it's a lot of sanding. I saw somebody sanding earlier,
Yeah.
and it's not
It's a lot of
easy
labor.
work. It's
It
a lot
is.
of work, isn't it?
You have to bring it down to its base before you can repaint it, right?
Look at you.
See,
I know.
I told Gardy, I said, Gardy, this is my home. Like, I feel like I'm at home because my dad owned a full service gas station
That's
growing up.
right.
Casper Oil Incorporated. It was awesome.
And who was the person that was changing the oil right there at the end?
My mom. My mom was doing it all because my dad had a knee issue, so my mom was actually running. You met my mom.
We
I
did.
forgot. I always forget about that.
Love her.
The one person who loves my mom.
So whenever,
Aw.
wow, Kurt,
I'm sorry.
that's hard. Whenever I was
Who do
young,
we have? Who do
my
we have?
first vehicle was a 1984 Jeep Cherokee. So this is like 2002 or something, like maybe 01, right? So my grandparents had given it to me, but the body looked fine. But the paint had started to take wear from the sun and everything else. But there's no rust on it. We don't get rust as much, I suppose, here.
Right.
So me and my dad sanded it all down. The entire thing, brought it down, and then we paid some body shop, but they sprayed some paint. It looked brand new.
Yeah.
But it was hard work, and I was just like, Dad, I changed my mind. Let me just drive it faded. But my dad, he's really big on hard work and like doing stuff yourself whenever you know how. And so he he showed me how to not too hard and all this stuff. So, but man, it was a lot of work to do that.
There's a lot of finesse in what we do.
Yeah.
So these guys out here pretty much do a dance every day.
Mm-hmm.
So
When you have you had a chance to go and do it yourself too? Like, do you come out here and just start sanding away?
well, I have sanded in the past. I actually love the smell of Bondo. I know that's weird, but it's very little that we have to use that particular product. But I do love the smell of it. I do love the smell of. We have a little bit of a smell to our paint. It is waterborne, but there is a little bit of smell. I love it. I absolutely. I
want to smell Bondo. Where can I go smell the Bondo?
Okay, we're gonna mix some up.
Description sounds delicious, overwhelming.
It's like one of those things where it's like some people like the smell of gasoline, which I don't, but
yeah,
it's
some people do.
like that. It's a weird smell, but it smells good.
Yeah, Curt put a coconut air freshener in his car, and it took his car to the next level. It's already really nice, right? But he put that coconut. I was like, Curt. Dude, it's smelling good. I feel like I'm on vacation. I feel like I'm drinking a pina colada.
The one thing that I needed that I thought was really super, is going to take the Jeep Compass to the next level.
Okay.
Is I started to notice yesterday, I think you pointed it out to me or somebody pointed out, that my paint is starting to, tear away a little bit on the front of my hood.
What?
Yeah.
Not acceptable.
Not acceptable
If you
for
only
the Jeep
knew
Compass.
If you only knew anybody in the industry.
Right. So you guys can do that. You guys can fix up, even just little paint issues that are starting to show up on my car.
Oh, I was talking about me. I could do that. Me and my dad. Yeah, me and my dad, right?
Oh,
Bring your
you
dad
guys
over here, and he can, y'all can do it. Now, I have painted before. It's pretty hard. It's really hard. That's a cool picture.
It seems like it would not be
It's not an easy task.
Especially touching up.
Yes. So we don't do a whole lot of touch-up. We usually take it down to and then we paint it. And we paint it where we fade it into the current color. So, but it's a unique task that he has to. He is an artist.
Wow.
So talk about what they're doing. I see somebody right here is looking at a bumper. What are they working on over there? Ethan, you want to show the bumper?
So that's Fonzie. He is one of my brothers in the industry. And he is so he removed that bumper off of that car, and now he's taking all of the elements off the bumper. So that little interior piece that looks, kind of decorative, they have to remove all of those pieces off an old bumper so that they can reinstall it back on the new. See the little black piece?
Yeah.
So, so the black piece isn't something that's painted. So that's actually off of that particular piece of that bumper whenever he paints it. So now Fonzie's having to replace all of those parts back onto the bumper.
That's pretty interesting.
The whole thing comes apart. It's just like a big Lego.
So this is super behind the scenes stuff that
Yes.
if you're watching on Facebook, you're able to see this. If you're listening at 99.5 FM right now, we're kind of walking through. Is this called the garage area, or what is this considered?
Yes, the shop.
We're in the shop and just seeing behind the scenes of actual work taking place. It could be on your car if you're watching.
Do we have
You're
to
like,
get
"Hey,
permission?
what's the update?"
Kind of like the child permission forms that we have to sign. Did we need permission to show?
It's people's baby.
There shouldn't be any
Or-
license plates on there right now.
No. And if there is,
good.
just turn the other way.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody takes and drops off their car, for some people it is like, hey, they baby their car and take care of it. It's a lot of trust that they put into you guys, and y'all take a lot of, I guess, pride in doing the work.
Absolutely. He's taking that piece out of that old bumper.
How many people are a part of the team here at Legacy Collision?
So we have, 15? About 15? Yeah. Between, the inside office staff and then out here. And then, of course, me and Michelle, we're just here.
Did y'all start
Every-
with 15, or have y'all?
No, we've
grown?
actually grown.
Yeah. We had 9.
We did. We started about with 9.
9 to 15 now.
Yep.
Cool. What do you see happening in this next year, or even from now till y'all hit y'all's 1 year anniversary? What do you see happening?
So we see a lot happening. We see, of course, expanding a little bit. We'd actually like to build another building and separate our body shop from our paint shop.
Okay.
So we do. We have some ideas for expansion coming up.
The cool thing is, right here in Hitchcock, there's actually a ton of land, and y'all probably have some more property where you'd be able to make it happen as well.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that would be an easy, a matter of getting it done. Y'all have the land right here, and then y'all can move to the blimp base.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Joe, we want to come to the blimp base.
We
The-
do too.
The
We
new
do
legacy is going to be at the blimp base. That's awesome.
Well, we appreciate y'all for allowing us to be here.
Yes.
And we're excited, to see how this show keeps going. But it's been fun so far. Y'all having fun?
You forgot
We
to
are.
wear your glasses.
I know.
Oh, yeah, your safety glasses.
The safety glasses. I'm rocking these.
You are. They're awesome.
This might be my new look. I'll just walk around like this all the time.
So we provide our guys with safety glasses. So anytime that they're doing anything with metal or, things like that, they're supposed to wear these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine are shatter resistant. I was a technician, before in another life, and they would always be like, "Wear your safety glasses." I cannot wear safety glasses over my glasses. What am I supposed to see, right?
It does make these lights that we have shining on us a little rough.
There's lights?
Like it's like, what? Look away. Look away.
All right. It's 9 o'clock. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. We're hanging out at Legacy Collision in Hitchcock, Texas. Excited to be here. We're going to keep it going. Good morning if you're watching. Good morning, Jennifer Fuller, Joshua Brown, Donna, everybody. Ethan, good morning to you as well. We appreciate you taking the time to join us right here. If you want to come check out Legacy Collision, feel free to come by. We'll probably put you on the camera because we have a lobby cam.
We do have a lobby cam, and then we also have the wide camera. And look who's in the shot. She's sneaking around the corner. Angie Butler.
Come on, Angie.
Oh, we have a note.
Awesome.
Cool.
That's for later in the show. All right, so we're going to be here at Legacy Collision until 11 o'clock. So we're probably going to talk to you before we end the show today. But then we have a bunch of people coming in. So we're going to move on to our next guest. But thank you guys for allowing us to be here, and we're going to be talking more about Legacy Collision and Hitchcock throughout the show.
Welcome anytime.
Boom. So, hey, let us know. If you're watching on social media, if you're listening on 99.5 FM, let us know what do you got going on today. It's Friday. It's spring break. Does that mean, are you going to the beach? I think the high is like 60 degrees, and it was 55 degrees last time I checked. But it may be a perfect beach day for you. I don't know.
59 degrees?
No, the high was 60, and I think it's about 55. But either way, no, that's too cold. It's too cold for me. But for you, it may be perfect. You don't have to necessarily go into the water. But there's just something about KHEA. There's something about Galveston. That's why I love our area. It's so diverse. There's a ton of great restaurants at both of those locations. You can still live that beach life, but not necessarily get in the water. Is that what you're planning to do today?
I feel like there's a bunch of people really upset when it's a spring break kind of thing.
Why?
When it's 59 degrees during spring break, I feel like spring break should be like sunny and warm.
Here, that's the other thing that's beautiful about our area. It was sunny and warm a couple of days ago, and then today it's cold and overcast, and it's still going to be a lot of fun, but we're excited. Hey, we got another guest that's going to be hanging out with us here in the Legacy Collision Studios. We're going to be talking about Fub on Me Bistro and Grill. We're also going to be talking about the new seafood side that opened up. Thank you so much for joining us today. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. I am just woke up.
Yeah. Hey, so what time does the restaurant open today?
We open at 10 every day, and we close at 9 from Monday to Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday we close at 10, and then Sunday we close at 9.
If somebody's never been to Fub on Me, what's the address? How can they get there? Especially now.
Yes, so it's really confusing because we are in the borderline between League City and Dickinson.
Mm-hmm.
So when you type in our address, 1804 FM 646, sometimes it will show up as League City, sometimes it will show up as Dickinson, but it does lead you to a different address. Some people who typed in, I guess it depends on what map you use. So some people who use Google Map, or you use the map on iPhone, or what is that?
Waze?
Waze?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll lead you to somewhere else. So some people who put in League City, they'll end up in the middle of nowhere.
Oh,
like
no.
past exit 17.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I just put in Dickinson 77539. It should lead you right to the restaurant.
I just tell people, you know where 646 is. There's the big HEB. Just keep going down the strip, and you're right next to a nail salon that's awesome. What's the name of that salon?
Bay Colony Nail Spa.
Bay Colony Nail Spa. And we've been there. We actually did a giveaway from there not too long ago, and we want to go back.
You should come back. They have a lot of promotions going on since it's spring break, and then prom, and then graduation. So
yeah,
there's a lot of deals going on right now.
There's always a good reason to go and get some love on your hands and your feet and get pampered, right?
Yep.
Cool. So we went the other day to Fub on Me, and there was something pretty cool happening. It was the kind of like the week and the launch of the brand new seafood side of the restaurant. Can you share, I guess, what kind of things are y'all serving now?
Mainly crawfish. It has been really popular for us because the chef who comes in for the flavor and the style that he makes it, it's very juicy, very tasty, and crawfish are a bit rare right now.
Yeah.
And so, but we still, manage to go ahead and just put out that fund to buy crawfish, and we try our best to get the largest size possible. So there's this day that we had a crawfish almost as big as a plate, that as big as a sandwich.
Yeah.
So it's still very juicy, very meaty.
Did you save that one for yourself? Because I would have been like, is this a lobster? Can we sell this one for more?
I gave it to my friend.
Yeah. So we were there the other day. We filmed. My parents actually had the opportunity to come in a couple times, and I know they had met you, and then they found out we were filming, and they wanted to come in. And now they're asking me, when are you going back to film at Fub on Me again? That was the best experience of my life. Can we just follow whenever you go film there? And now I'm going to have to keep it on like top secret, so that way they don't eat too much. They were having a blast.
Yeah, you should come back. Come back any day, any week. Yeah, we're always there. And I would recommend the grilled oysters. It's fresh. It's very tasty. The way he seasoned it is just very good.
Did y'all bring someone in, like a chef or a cook that specializes in seafood?
Yes. So he actually has about 10 restaurants in Bel Air. And then he offered to just come in and help us to expand the other side of the restaurant because it's so huge that we can't use up all the space. And he said, hey, how about, if you want, I can share you all my recipe for my seafood items that I have, all in Bel Air, all seafood restaurants. And we're like, sure, come on in. And so he's been very grateful, very helpful.
Is that him right there? Or was he the one he was mixing up whenever we were there filming?
Yes, he's the one that was mixing up and holding the live crab for you that was still crawling. Yes, all of our seafood items are fresh and live. They're crawling. And if you come into the restaurant, we have a tank that you'll see lobster crawling around.
Oh, yeah. That's really cool. In Bel Air, there is actually a ton of like Asian food. Isn't that like a good, I don't know if the word is like a hub, but a good place if you're looking for Asian cuisine? There's a lot of really good food out there.
All walking distance. There are literally, it's the same shop right next to each other. So you don't like this one, you can walk right next to the next one.
Yeah. So that's where he has some restaurants. He came down here so you can get some delicious, authentic seafood. Is this like Vietnamese crawfish? Is that what you would call it?
I would say that the house special flavor is more of an Asian style because it's sweet and tangy all together. And, of course, the spiciness you can modify however you like, spicy level like to 1 to 5. And then there's Cajun style. It's a bit salty, but that one is spicier than the other two. And then house garlic butter. That one is also good.
Wow.
So talk a little bit about, as we take a look here at them actually painting one of the cars here at Legacy Collision. If you don't know, we're broadcasting live from Legacy Collision in Hitchcock. And I asked this question because Hitchcock is very close. Like, how long was your drive down here today from
not too far. Well, I mean, I live in League City back on exit 23. So it took me about 23 minutes. But from the restaurant, I would say about maybe 10
minutes.
10 minutes and under, yeah.
So one of the things that Gardy and I have talked about is there are a lot of restaurants and there's a lot of places on this side of 45. Because if you haven't heard, 646, the bridge that connects
is down.
The east side to the west side is down.
It fell down.
Right? Like you can't cross over that bridge. And so as a restaurant owner on this side of 45, there's a different audience that you're trying to reach. You no longer are trying to reach the audience that's on the other side of 646. You're trying to get the people over here, and that's Hitchcock, that's Santa Fe. So why should somebody who lives in Hitchcock and Santa Fe who's maybe watching right now because they're like, oh, Legacy Collision, what would you say to them to come and check out Fob on Me?
We always try to do cross promotions like our next door neighbor partner, Bay County Nail Spa. We always tell them, hey, let's do some discounts for people who come to you, and then people will come to us. So most of the time we do this where if they do any services at your place, any nails, pedicures, tell them to bring the receipt over, and we can give them 20% off their meal over here. Or if they eat over here, and then they can bring a receipt over to the nail salon and get a 20% off.
That's cool.
We used to do cross promotion like that, and we're trying to promote that around the area as well. I want to go to local businesses and support one another, right? Because everyone is trying to, grow their business. Everyone's working hard just to see the population grow up, and so why not cross promote and help the community around the area. You can come here and get your car fixed, get your car looking nicer, and then go over there for a meal, and it's at a better rate, and just get to know around the area, right? And so for the past week, it's hard not going to Walmart across the bridge. I have to find my way, over either take League City Parkway or go all the way up to 517 and make a detour around. But through that, I got to know some of the neighborhoods behind there that never existed, and so I was able to, it's been a nice weather for the past 2-3 days. I got out of the car, walked around, passed out our menu,
Nice.
and so, oh hey, we are a restaurant just down the street from you. It's you take the back road of Brookport of 646. There's a lot of neighborhoods back there that I never come across because I always use the bridge. And so I got to meet a lot of nice people, and then they actually came in for dinner, and I got to meet them. And so I was like, this is actually a nice opportunity, something positive about the construction. Not just that it'll make the traveling more convenient, but it got us to expand and go out of ourselves and meet other people.
I love it.
Gardy and I actually had that conversation the other day. We were talking about these restaurants who may or may not have been affected by the closing of 646, and as restaurant owners, they kind of have to go out and do it on their own. It's a different kind of marketing than what you're used to. But I do recommend that if you haven't checked out Fob on Me Bistro and Grill on Facebook, or even been to the restaurant, just go and give it a try. Because for us, it's a local business. You guys are local to the community. Talk about how you've been able to be a part of this community and why it's so important to be in this community.
Yeah, I actually moved over here from Pearland, and so it's only been over a year for me for this new move. So I'm still adjusting to the routes, to the community, to the people,
And construction, because I'm sure a year ago, everything has kind of changed and it's continuing to shift.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so I was like, I'm just learning routes to every day I find different routes to to the restaurant. There's going the back way, the front way, the side way, and then behind the area where what is that, the Bella Mia?
Yeah, Little
the
Bellamia.
Yeah,
With
and then
Manish and Cocoa Crepes.
yes, and then around back there with the new road that they just opened up, I think it's Calder Road, and so that helped during traffic times.
Well, you notice they got that done the week that they decided to do 646, and I'm
Yes.
hoping that's what they were waiting on, because it just makes sense. Okay,
Yes.
you got to give people another way to get to the other side, and that's it at this
Yes.
point.
Yeah, it helped a lot.
So I know one day all that construction will be completed, and it's going to be very beneficial to a lot of people to hop back and forth, and more people will be able to travel up and down I-45. But right now, what we're encouraging you to do, what we're encouraging people to do, is why not discover what's already in your backyard that maybe has been there for a while and you've just not went. You haven't gone because you have a place where you used to. Why not discover what's already in your community? Again, we're in Hitchcock, so I'm thinking the best way from Hitchcock, off the top of my head, I guess you would take 6 to 517 to 646, boom, and then you're right there at Fob on Me.
It's got to be a simple 12-minute drive, and not even that very long to get up into that area. But there are restaurants. There's HEB.
I'm gonna ask Siri.
We're gonna find out specifically how far away.
Hey Siri, navigate to Fob on Me Bistro and Grill. Let's see if she does it. Siri's getting some directions right now. You're listening to 99.5 FM. This is KHEARadio.com. It's 9:13 a.m. We're hanging out at Legacy Collision. Now I'm trying to get that exact estimate that Siri is calculating. She says it's about
18 minutes.
18 minutes. You know what, Siri? That's a bet.
Bet.
That's a bet.
I feel like I could get there in 12.
Yeah.
Just don't tell any. We have the police chief coming in from Hitchcock.
We do. You know
Can we
what?
get
I'm going to get there in 25.
Can we get a get out of jail free card?
I'm taking my time today, boys. I'm taking my time. Mr. The police chief of Hitchcock's going to be in studio later, so make sure that you tune in, listen to what he has to say.
So one of the things that I have to to talk about just really fast before we move forward with this is, one, they're just about ready to start painting this car here. And we've never had the pleasure of having you, Cindy, in our studio. Like, this is the first time we've ever had you. I know you're still a little nervous, a little bit, but one of the things that is really kind of cool is we're here at Legacy Collision, and you're now on our show. But have you ever had to have your car like worked on or detailed before?
I have. Back in high school, I was driving a red Volkswagen Beetle.
Nice.
Yeah, that was my dream car ever since I was a kid. And my parents just surprised me that one day when I came home from school. So someone hit me, and so I had to bring it in to get it fixed. It took a long time. Good thing was I live right behind my high school, so I walked to school for the whole 3 months. It took that long to fix my car because I had to order parts from Germany, and then it took a while. But
yeah,
yes.
Kurt was driving the Pontiac Sunfire, so he was he was one of the cool kids at school.
It wasn't me who hit your car then, right? Unless it was red.
Yeah, the big old red,
the big old
red smash on the side.
That's
Did you ever
fun.
get any accidents in high school?
Yes, I had a problem reversing. I would back into just about anything. In fact, my
Back in
geography teacher was one of the cars I hit. That was fun. I had to go to class afterwards. I was my day one of me driving, getting my license. I'm sitting at a stoplight, and some car didn't stop and hit. Like, it was just a chain reaction that four cars hit me in the back, and I was like, "What?" It was funny.
Wow. I didn't get any accidents in high school.
None?
No. I
Have
was
you been
very
in one
careful.
since then?
I was driving a standard. So I mean, both hands were busy, both feet were busy, and I was focused. And my car didn't go that fast because it was '84 Jeep Cherokee, and it only had 4 gears. Like, it only had 4 gears, and if I was trying to go quick, I had to really take some time on that. So, yeah, I was always safe in that. But yeah, we are broadcasting live from Legacy Collision. Ethan has been getting some shots of them painting the cars, which is really cool to see. Look at that action. And the precision. See, that's something I want to learn how to do. But I want to learn how to paint, like, the wall with that or something.
Paint the wall with that? Yeah, it's
I
kind
don't
of
know.
the same tool, isn't it?
I
See,
think
this
they
is the
have
kind
some
of
stuff
tool
like
that
that.
I wish that Anna and Legacy Collision would let me play with. Like, I could just jump in there and be like, I got this, and
I
start
think
spraying.
more, instead of, like, the painting part, what's appealing to you is, like, the mask. He looks like a superhero. Because we were talking about the Marvel movies. Have you seen the new Captain Marvel movie? It's with the girl who's Captain Marvel. It's one of the superhero movies.
I have not.
It just came out.
I
But-
used to just watch Daredevil. I'm sad. They're canceling it on Netflix.
Oh,
They're taking
yeah.
down everything. Luke Cage.
They're just hitting the reset button. Sometimes they be like that.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
It's 9:17 a.m. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. Super excited because we have Cindy in the Legacy Collision Studios. We're talking about
It's so weird to
Bub
say,
on
like,
Me.
you can't say we're in studio today. No, we're on location today.
Bistro and Grill. You want to give them a call, 832-340-7165. I like that. It says right next to the HEB, right there on 646. Make sure you check them out. There's some beautiful video and some footage that was captured the other day.
Wow.
And this is some crawfish that was actually getting, boiled, and a bunch of crabs. Are those soft shell crabs? Is that what you would call that?
It's actually it's just blue crabs.
I have no idea. I just know it tastes good. And there's
I
my
think you
parents
saw-
that
you
were
saw
like
the
eating
movie,
it.
right? You went back there.
So
Yeah.
shout out to them. If you haven't been, you need to go check it out. The brand new seafood side is open.
There's Cindy.
Oh,
We got a shot. She was a little camera shy that night. But you're kind of, it's interesting because when we go back into the back of the kitchen, you're back there
Calling the shots.
calling the shots,
Running the
making sure-
show.
It's cool to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I help manage it. So most of the time I'm in the shop as I guess you would say director. Like in a movie, sometimes you just
big
have
boss.
to tell them where to go, what
Yeah.
to do, and how to do it. But yeah, I like being a waitress more. I love being a waitress ever since high school. That's my favorite job. If I ever get to go to apply for a job, it'll be a waitress.
Yeah.
I love waitressing. I love talking to customers. I love giving them ideas, help them with the menu, explain to them what it is. I love food.
Yeah. Being a waitress and enjoying that do you read people? Like if me and Kurt are sitting down, you have to read people pretty well, right?
You do, and that's the thing I'm trying to train the staff is that don't wait for customers to look around and raise their hand. You just have to always you can get drinks, but you have to keep your eyes on them, and then you just have to know that they're in need of something, and you go over there before they even ask for anything. And that's my goal. It's just customer service is always top, and you just have to know that they need something right now, and you just come to them and ask what it is, and always try our best to fulfill their needs, their demands.
Yeah. So we're getting some feedback. Ooh, wow, looks so yummy. It is. You can ask, well, you can take our word for it. If you don't, you can take my mom and everybody else who's ever been there. But my mom's in the video. My dad, I think that's his hand right there as he's tearing into that.
So talk a little bit about, so we got the seafood side, and you also had the other side as well that you've had for a long time.
Yes.
Talk about what is on the menu at both locations, at both parts, and talk about why you decided to open a seafood place.
So the restaurant was actually built by someone else, and we took over almost 2 years now. And originally when we took over, they just have food such as the most popular pho, or some people pronounce it as pho. Correct way would be, just adding a question mark on it, pho. And
Wait, one more time. I'm going to try it after you.
Pho. Perfect. There you go.
Yes.
But I feel like if I said that, though, people would be like, what are you talking about? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
The general consensus of people would be like, dude, what are you saying? And I'm just like, I'm saying it the correct way. And they would just be like, no, you're crazy.
Yes. So we understand when people pronounce it pho or pho, but or they just call it noodle soups, which is fine too. Yes. So that one is our most popular one because the way the chef simmers the beef bones, it takes about 24 to 36 hours just to really squeeze out all the juice that's in the bone. Just to you can really taste the beef flavor in there with no artificial cubes or no MSG. It's all pure natural flavors. And same with the chicken, except the chicken bones are thinner, so it doesn't take as long. It takes about 12 to 18 hours for that. And then we have our sandwiches, which is called bánh mì. Right, and then you can choose any sorts of meat you want: beef, pork, chicken, combination.
I usually get the combination, but can you say it how it's pronounced one more time? I know you saw me like what?
I love it.
Bánh mì.
Bánh mì.
Hey, can you say pho, banh mi the right way
Oh,
so that
okay.
way we know how to say it?
So the restaurant it's a long name. I don't know what the
What they were
original
thinking.
owner
Yeah.
they choose it such a long name. So it's called Phở, Bánh mì, Bistro and Grill,
Yeah.
and now seafood.
Pho, banh mi, bistro, and grill. And seafood added,
And
brand new
seafood.
right
So
now.
glad you're saying it.
We were there not too long ago, captured some awesome video footage. If you're listening on 99.5 FM, make sure you go check out KHEA Radio's Facebook page. You can go to Pho Banh Mi's Facebook page as well, so that way you can get a glimpse. You can get almost like a sneak preview of what you can expect when you get there. And I'm going to tell you everything you should order right now. Just go down the menu and order one of everything.
One of everything. That's perfect. Best meal ever. Hey, I did want to say one of the things and why we've kind of brought Cindy on to our show today is because we're dropping a video on Monday where we're giving away 3 winners are going to walk away with 3 pounds of crawfish. So that video is being dropped on Monday morning. So if you haven't done so, you need to like KHEA Radio. You need to turn on your notifications so anytime we make a post or anytime that we go live, that you know that that you get notified by Facebook so you don't miss that giveaway so that you can try that crawfish that we're going to be giving away on Monday. That video usually lasts about a week. So you have a whole week to enter to win. It's a like, share, comment video, and you know the drill, right? And then we pick the winner.
Cindy, are you going to enter? Are you going to enter to win?
No, I'll save it. I'll save it for community. Though I want to add in a promotion that we have going on right now until Sunday, since St. Patrick is right around the corner. I don't know if you've tried it, but it's that iced tropical lunch, the drink that Kurt
likes.
always get,
Yeah.
the green drink. So just to make sure you don't get pinched, you have something green on you. So right now, all you need to do is go into the Facebook page, show it to our staff. It's buy one, get one free. And so
That's a good deal.
That's a great deal.
So you can take a friend,
Oh,
just have 2 2 for yourself. Actually, buy one and then I just want another one.
I would get you a drink.
Yeah.
Gardy, like it
Well,
would be
that's really
buy
nice
one.
of
I'd
you.
buy one, and then I let you have the one that is paid for.
It's free.
No, it's paid for.
Oh, you would
I'll
get,
take the one that's free.
Wow. I feel attacked.
A little bit. Hey, you
Man.
know, would it be bad to say that I was maybe a little disappointed that a tropical lush wasn't brought in this morning?
Kurt gets really weird about
No, I'm
this
just
stuff.
kidding. I'm so kidding.
We're
I'm
not open yet. I would. I would if the shop was open. I'll swing by and grab you drinks, but they open at 10.
If Pub on Me served breakfast, what would you serve? Like, is there anything that would line up with the restaurant?
So I people often find it funny to eat pho so early, but if you go back in Vietnam, which is my country where I was born, that is their breakfast, which they eat around 5 or 6 in the morning. They actually eat it throughout the whole day as well.
It's breakfast, lunch, and
breakfast,
dinner.
lunch. They eat around 4 or 5. They go to
Yeah.
mass, church, and then they have it again at lunch. But most of the time over there, lunch is when everyone gathers at home. They get to take breaks from school, from work, and they just all go home. And that I like that, right? Because mealtime is very important in our culture. And so everyone gathers for every mealtime except for maybe breakfast because it's so early. The kids aren't awake yet. But yeah, they'll come home from school they get like an hour or 2 break to go home, eat lunch with their family, and then go back because they don't have cafeteria over there. And you can't bring your lunch because it's just not
to keep it cold and ready to go or whatever it needs to be.
And there's like always small little bicycle. What is that? Like sometimes the ice cream man goes around.
yeah.
So they have carts like that with food
For lunch.
Yeah, like banh mi would serve through there, or pho just through that small cart. They have everything for you.
We need those here. When's the Pho Bong Me come in like with the mobile cart? That's like the food truck version.
Yes.
That'd be cool. So you said where you're from. Were you born in Vietnam?
Yes, I was born in Vietnam. I came over here in 1991 with my
Okay.
family.
Okay, gotcha. And how old were you during that time?
I was 1.
1 year old. Okay.
Yes.
Well, I was gonna ask you how you liked it over there, but
Well, I've been back every 3-4 years or so, and I'm actually going back this July for my grandparents' 50th anniversary.
that's awesome. 50 years.
Yes, 50 years.
Congratulations
of
to
love.
them. That's a long time.
Thank you.
Very cool. So we're talking to Cindy, talking about pho, banh mi, and there's some questions coming in. Marcia wanted to know, do y'all have spring rolls? Is that something y'all
We
do there?
do. We have all types of spring roll. The most common one is the shrimp spring rolls. They come in an order of 2, and then we have chicken, beef, pork, and tofu for anyone that's vegetarian.
So there's a little bit of something for everyone. We are broadcasting live from Legacy Collision. We got some help from intern Ethan, who looks really cool, by the way. I wish there was an intern Ethan cam.
You kind of see him.
Yeah, you can
in
see
the
him in
bottom
the shot.
corner there.
That's just his hat. But it's a little bit cold outside.
It is.
Did you have anything planned special for spring break other than, hey, we just need to serve everybody?
I mean, normally I would go out on spring. My family is on San Antonio biking right now. I'm back here working. It's just the seafood side is too new, and we just grand opened that. I want to make sure and stick around and make sure everything is going right, going well. Until it's stabilized, then
Yes.
I can't take any time off yet.
So your family is your husband, and you have a baby too, right?
Yes.
How old is your baby?
He is turning 17 months tomorrow.
Is he in San Antonio?
No.
Oh, he's here.
no,
Okay,
they're
okay.
Here.
Okay,
we
good. I was like, they can't
go-
leave you. Yeah.
No, we can't be separate from each other.
You know, your whole family kind of helps out around the restaurant.
We do. We enjoy. It's a family-owned, operated business. So my siblings, I have 4. Then the one closest to me is 10 years apart from me. They just all come out there and help during busy times. Yeah.
You know, speaking of family, I know we've had some conversations before, and we were talking about, your baby, and if you plan to have more, and you shared some information that was kind of alarming to me. And then, isn't your husband a big Marvel fan, or is he a
Yes.
big comic book fan, right?
Yes.
So what's the name of, if you don't mind sharing, what's your baby's name?
My baby name is Logan.
Logan.
Taken after Wolverine, of course.
They're Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah.
And so, how many children did you say that you plan to have or hope to have?
I was hoping for 10. He was hoping for 12. So.
And can I ask, do you have the names? And is it
Wow.
like Jean, like Logan, like
Yes,
Storm, and all the
that.
X-Men?
Charles, Scott,
Who's Professor X?
He claimed that's him. He's the
Oh,
he's the leader.
your husband.
He has to be
That's
Professor
funny.
X.
Okay,
And then
fair.
Storm, all of them down there.
Is that the point? Is that why he wants 12 and you want 10?
I want 10 just because my grandma had 10.
Yes.
And then his grandparents had 13. And we love because every time we gather, it's really fun. There's no place to sit, no place to stand. Everyone just squeezing.
Yes.
Because our grandparents live in a smaller home, but it's traditional to always come to the eldest, and so we always come to our grandparents' house, and we just all sit tight like sardines.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's nice and cozy, and we get to meet everybody, and just to chit chat with our cousins and our uncles and aunts.
That's cool. Hey, so I have to give a shout out to my friend Joey Thompson, who just got on the Facebook stream.
Hey, I love Joey Thompson.
I was gonna say because he's the one who told me first before I ever heard anything and had the opportunity to go to Fub on Me. He was like, "Dude, you got to go to Fub on Me.
He's our
It's
big
legit.
fan
You need to
supporter."
go." And so shout out to Joey.
Hi, Joey.
Yeah, that's how that happened. I was like, Kurt, we need to go to Fub on Me. Joey said we need to check it out. So thank you, Joey.
That was a long time ago.
It
Like,
was.
way back. You guys
Yeah.
maybe been open for a couple months or something like that, and we were like, hey, let's go check this place out. And it was great. It was, or did you?
Well, no, so it was a weird thing, and it almost happened at the same time. So we had put a post up. I know Joey had reached out to me, and then we also got in contact with Cindy. And I don't know how it happened, but it seriously happened at the same time. So that's why I know sometimes things just fall into place, and it's just meant to be, you know? So that's kind of what happened here.
And I'm so excited about this giveaway that's happening on Monday. So make sure that you stay tuned to our Facebook page, KHEA Radio, so that you can see that giveaway when it drops.
Yep, this is 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11 a.m., and I'm excited for that giveaway.
I'm super excited. Cindy, one more time, can you tell us a little bit more, or tell us how people can find you, where they can go, how they can get in contact with you, and why they should come check out Fob on Me?
Yes. So we advertise and do a lot of our promotions through Facebook because it's just so popular and it's a very easy way for everyone to be connected. So just always check out our Facebook page. It's simply just our name, Pho Banh Mi Bistro and Grill. And then, of course, you can call us anytime. You can always message us on Facebook. I'll always respond to you, whether it's 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. or 5 a.m. I'll always respond. We're located right in the HEB Plaza. It's behind Bank of America, behind 888. It's just over there on 646 in Brookport.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Hey, we'll be in there
All right.
soon, and I'm excited for the giveaway. You're awesome.
Thank you, guys. I'll see you again.
All right, bye, Cindy.
Give
Thank
Logan
you.
our love.
And
Thank
you did
you.
great.
Thank
We got to get you in the KHEA studio next.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. This is Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. If you're watching on Facebook, share this video out right now. Give us a heart react. Give us a thumbs up react. Let us know, what do you have going on today? It's Friday. It's spring break. There's a ton of stuff to do this weekend. There's almost too much stuff to do this weekend. We are so stinking busy. I'm sure you are too. Let us know, what are your plans? Are the kids trying to drag you to the beach? Are you going?
The weather, man. It's too bad that we're stuck inside of the studio.
You know, it
and
warmed
not
up.
freezing.
It warmed up. It warmed up in here because it was kind of cold. I was like, Kurt, it's going to be cold in here, isn't it? But it feels good. I think it's also my energy drink helping.
I wish I had mine. You made me move my energy drink.
Well, you know, you kept setting it in front of me, and I'm really concerned that your energy drink is going to get spilt like over all of our stuff. Mine's like chilling on the side of the table.
We got the drink insurance, right?
Whoa! I just saw something fall off the table, but it wasn't a drink. We don't have drink insurance, but that's something we should look into.
Awesome.
We need to hit Ricardo Daniels.
Hit up Ricardo Daniels for that hip insurance. I'm sure there's a bunch of these cars in this studio that are also insured, and that's why they're able to come down here. I think one of the things with Legacy Collision is that they are able to help you in your car insurances as well. So we're going to bring on our next guest, who is from Santa Fe, Texas.
I like Santa Fe.
I think it's Dr. Nikki.
We're really close. We're in Hitchcock today. I like your Santa Fe Strong shirt.
Thank you.
That's sparkly.
Thank you.
Where did you get that made?
I made it.
You made it?
Yeah.
Very cool. So you're a doctor, and you also are able to bling out the shirts too, huh?
Yeah, I just like to do it on the side. It's something fun.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So can you share a little bit about your background? Introduce introduce yourself and just let people know what you got going on.
I'm Nikki Hodges. I actually, my whole background's been ER. I've been a nurse practitioner for about 6 years. And I decided a couple years ago that I wanted to get out of the ER with the crazy hours and all that, and ended up going to open my own clinic and just kind of did it on a whim, and it's been wonderful. The community has been great. I'm local, so everybody kind of knows everybody, and it's been wonderful. I've really enjoyed it.
So what are some reasons somebody would come see you? Like, what can you treat if somebody is like sick or they have some issues going on? Like, what are the things that you were able to treat and help them with?
So we do a little bit of everything. We do, it's family practice, so we can see any age group, but we do anything from coughs, colds, diabetes management, high blood pressure, that kind of thing, and we can even do some minor emergency stuff. I have stuff at the office to be able to do sutures and staples and that kind of stuff as well.
Wow. We saw some staples. Our friend Stephanie Kovich from Furniture Zone, she owns that in Dickinson. She had a whole surgery, and she had the staples removed, but she put it on social media, which I was kind of torn about, because I was just like, Stephanie, I love you. I love Furniture Zone and everything you've done for the community. Why'd you post this? Because I don't know. I don't think I have the stomach for that. Growing up.
Some people don't. I don't. I try not to post stuff like that on my social media.
Is that something you've always been able to handle and stomach? Like, just like weird things, I suppose?
I think so, to an extent anyway. I think every nurse, though, has one thing that will get them and that really grosses them out. No matter how long you deal with it, there's just one thing that you just can't handle. So
what's yours?
Snot.
Well, you may not want to sit too close to this guy right here. Sometimes he has a tendency to snot on you.
Wow. Wow. Hey, I was going to say, one of the things, talking a little bit about that disgust that we've seen, there's been a lot more videos and posts. Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh, yes. That's what I knew was coming up. That's
right.
Yes.
Might as well be snot.
Right.
Are you good with that?
That I'm okay with. It's not snot. So.
Why do people like that? Why are people tuning in and he's got millions and millions of followers talking about just popping people's gross pimples?
I think it's like a weird instant gratification thing. Like, you do something and you instantly get something out of it, and so it's just.
That makes sense.
At what point do we start doing your instant gratification videos for you, where you're like, oh, come and look, I'm gonna staple this guy's arm together, come and get video of it.
Well, once people start volunteering for me to do that, I will.
Dang.
I'll volunteer Kurt. I'll volunteer Kurt to do it.
I'm getting microblading next week.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be bloody and
Are you
painful.
familiar with what microblading is?
Yes.
Okay, so we have started to focus more on beauty and health.
Mm-hmm.
And with the beauty side, because there's an interest in this, and we didn't realize this, but my wife will watch beauty bloggers on YouTube or makeup tutorials, and
right.
and everybody does. And then
right.
It was about a year of this happening before I was like, Kurt, you know what? We should focus on beauty and health more. Mm-hmm. And so we're starting to do that. But Kurt's getting some microblading done next week, which will be fun. Is there anything he should look out for, health-wise, for that?
No, I mean, the biggest risk would be infection, but as long as you go to a well-established place, they usually are very sterile about it. And
okay.
Yeah.
I think we're good then. No, we are good. It's going to be Posh Salon. They are. Are you familiar with Texas Chronicles History, Mystery, and Adventure?
No.
Yeah, it's Joe Perez. But if you are watching on social media and you've seen Texas Chronicles, that was the latest feature that they did. It was on Posh Salon and Spa, but it's really nice. Some really cool things. So that's going to be next week.
That's going to be next week. So one of the things that I had for Dr. Nikki here is you actually treat patients or accept patients into your office, which without even insurance, right? You can come.
Yes.
And can you talk a little about why you decided to do that?
Well, actually, there's a little bit of political stuff that I won't get into, but the Affordable Care Act, it allowed some people to have better access to health care, but some people, their premiums went up, their deductibles went up, and so the people that can afford health insurance, some of them, their deductibles are so high that they don't even hit those. So it was important to me to offer some affordable care that people could, even if they had a high deductible policy or didn't have a policy, so that they could come in and get the health care that they needed.
That's really good. I know Kurt not was sharing too much of our information or getting too political, like doing your your taxes and tax returns, you were looking at some stuff and be like, wait, so
I got penalized.
Insurance didn't make sense during the year, but now you have to pay this much, and it's just kind of like a
Which
big.
is fine because the penalty is far less at this point
Than
than
your
what-
deductible
than
would
my
have been.
deductible would have been.
Right.
I decided not to, and this is fine. I'm okay with sharing this. I decided not to. It was gonna be like $300 a month. But then I still had like a $6,000 deductible.
Right.
And I was like, I'm never in 1 year going to spend $6,000. And then next year, like,
Hopefully.
refreshes again, and I have to start all over. So it's like, not only am I paying $300 a month, but then I also have to pay $6,000 before it starts making sense. So just for me, so you do that, and it's kind of a benefit. Do all practice places do that, or are you just kind of unique in that?
I think most practices offer a discounted cash price.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting because when you bill insurance companies, what they actually reimburse you is a fraction of what you bill them. So I feel like a lot of times the cash patients take that cushion and they actually end up paying more than the insurance companies do. So I try to keep that lower. Like I said, a lot of times the insurance policies, they just don't make financial sense for people right now with the deductibles and everything else. Some people can't afford them and some people just choose not to, which is fine. But we like to try to, be able to accommodate them as well.
So where are you located?
We're in Santa Fe, next to the Family Dollar, kind of by the turnoff to Runge Park, so right across the street from Amigo Mart.
Okay. And how long have you been in that location?
We've been open there almost 2 years now.
2 years. Cool. I'm sure you've probably learned a lot, from 2 years ago. If anybody was looking to start a business, whenever somebody comes in and they've been doing something for a couple years, I always ask, like, what are things you wish you would have known back then, or what's some advice you can give if somebody's an entrepreneur or wanting to start something? Can you give them any kind of advice?
I think you just have to realize you just have to really do a lot of research and find where the market's needed. I was able to get into an area where it's really underserved by physicians and healthcare professionals, so that worked out really well for me. But I think as long as the need is there, you just kind of go for it. In the healthcare business, it's a little different because we have to deal with insurance companies, so that's been the biggest hurdle for me, just figuring out how to do that and go about that. When I worked in the ER, I never dealt with billing or insurance companies or any of that. I did my job and I went home. So that was really new for me. Had to learn all that.
Talk about the schooling that you had to go through. What kind of school? Because when I think of doctors, I think of
Medical
12, 13 years, right? Like it's a long process to go through.
So when you normally think of a doctor, you think of an MD, which I'm not an MD. I'm actually a doctor of nursing practice.
Okay.
So I got my my RN and my bachelor's degree, and then I went on and did my master's, and then I went on and got a doctor of nursing practice. So
Wow.
I've been in school almost my entire adult life. So,
How many years is that?
I think it's about 8 total. But you have to, in between, you can't just go straight through. You have to go out and get some field experience in between.
And then you're able to come back and do.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. That's a lot of school.
Where did you go to school, or do you?
I went to UTMB in Galveston for my bachelor's, and then I did my master's and my doctorate at UT Health Science Center in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like being back here in this community, serving this community?
Oh, I love it. I get to know all my patients, and I go to the grocery store, I see people, and my daughter goes to school here at the junior high, so it's nice being involved and kind of seeing everybody, and then getting to follow up on people is nice too. That's one thing I didn't get in the ER. You send people home and you don't really ever see them again, but in the family practice setting, it's nice because they can come in and you actually get to follow up and say, okay, well, we helped this person out and we were able to do this, or we weren't able to do this, let's try this, and really get the follow-up on it. But the community's been wonderful. I love it. I try to stay local as much as I can.
Another industry that kind of works on insurance as well and can kind of be related, but we're in a collision center. So we're at Legacy Collision,
Right.
where they also work with insurance companies and
Right.
people take out policies, and you don't know, like, am I ever going to need this? And it's kind of the same with the health industry. A couple questions. One, have you ever been in an accident and had to have, your car repaired?
Oh, absolutely.
And then two, whenever people are in a car accident, does it make sense for them to go to a doctor even if they feel fine? Like, hey, you need to get checked out. Like, what's going on?
So, funny story about that is that most doctor's office, mine included, we can't see car accident patients. So your best bet after you've been in an accident is to go to the ER.
Which you have experience with.
Right. If you do go into an office setting, your private insurance usually doesn't cover it because it's an accident.
Oh, okay.
So you end up in kind of an insurance mess, and you end up usually having to pay for it out of pocket. So it's usually better to go through the ER.
See, these are things that I feel are very good to know, because I had no idea. It makes sense. Like, well, okay, it's not. I'm okay, but then like a couple weeks later, I go to the doctor because, like, man, my shoulders are hurting me, and then they say, well, you should have went to the emergency room.
And there are some, you can usually call your health or your car insurance as well and see if they have certain providers that they use that accept those policies. But for the most part, what ends up is, you go and you end up filing on your health insurance, and a lot of times they don't cover it, so you end up with the bill.
Yeah.
So it's something that we still treat it a lot. We have patients that come in and pay cash for the visit, and that's certainly okay. It's just kind of an insurance nightmare.
Why should somebody go to you over, let's say, somebody else? Like, why is this the best in Santa Fe?
Well, we're kind of we have the small town mentality. We're
I know that question. I was like, what kind of question is this?
I'm just trying to say, like, why family practice?
okay.
Basically, is what I'm
I feel
saying.
like I could answer this question for her, but I'm gonna let her answer, and then I'm gonna answer it after.
Okay.
Well, family practice, we just do a little bit of everything. We see all ages. We do, like I said, just a little bit of everything from acute stuff to chronic stuff, and we like to maintain the small town mentality. We're really laid back in the office. We like to have fun with our patients. We like to get to know our patients, and we like our patients to be able to talk to us about anything. So,
do y'all do like payment plans, if that's a possibility? Do y'all do anything like that, or like a portion?
We usually don't, but what we do is we have stuff worked out with the labs and imaging centers, so we can offer those services at a much lower price.
Okay. So that's what I was going to say. Being in Santa Fe, it's a family practice. You have a family. You said your daughter goes to Santa Fe. Why not go to somebody that you consider your neighbor? Go to somebody that your kids go to school with, and they're going to be here. They've been here for years and will continue to be here. So it just makes more sense. A family practice to actually go with somebody who you can kind of like become family with, almost.
Yeah, and we enjoy that relationship with our patients. We really do get to know them, and we see them at, I see them at school open house and extracurricular activities and stuff, and then we see them at the grocery stores and just out and about town.
Yeah.
So we really enjoy that aspect of it.
Had you ever been to Legacy Collision before today?
No, I haven't, but I'm very familiar with everybody here. I've just never been here.
Which is kind of a good thing, because if you have been
Right.
here before, then it means like you'd been in a wreck in the last 9 months or so.
Right, I haven't needed it, so that's good.
Yeah, but it is good to know if something was to ever come up, where you would go.
Absolutely.
Right. And how far is your office from here?
It's about, I think it's about 10 minutes, just a few miles up Highway 6.
Yeah. Right now it's 9:48. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM is Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11, hanging out at Legacy Collision in Hitchcock, Texas, having a good time. We're learning about health right now. Whenever it comes to family practice, we've also been learning about collision centers and everything that goes on in this building. So it's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening behind us. I hear the noise picking up, which is awesome.
It's a soothing
I
hum.
told them, I said, guys, you guys can act normal. You guys can do everything that you need to do, because it's actually kind of cool and interesting. Our microphones pick up everything like that we're saying, and not the noise in the background. So I think it's great.
For the most part. I don't know. I can't tell.
Ethan.
If you're watching on Facebook, you'd be able to tell us more. You need a shot?
They're looking. They're opening up the front. Maybe you could go get a mobile shot of the outside of the building.
Yeah, let us know what it's like outside. We'll go
Is it
see.
warming up?
Yeah. So if you haven't been here before, it's right next to the blimp base, which is kind of like a landmark right here on 2004. I think a lot of people, if you just say, "Hey, the blimp base," you'll know where that is, and it's pretty cool because if Ethan goes outside and that camera connects with that link, we may be able to get a shot of the blimp base outside.
I just saw that Marsha Toon asked a quick question here. Great interviews. Glad to know you're local. Can you kind of tell people again one more time where you're located and how people can get in contact with you, Dr. Nikki?
We're located, the address is actually 14310 Highway 6 in Santa Fe. We're right across from Amigo Mart, right there at the turn to go to Runge Park. We have a website. It's www.yourfamilyhealthcare.org. So there's a lot of good information there, along with pricing and services that we offer. We also have a Facebook page. We try to update things from time to time there. And then the number for the clinic, obviously, is 409-316-9085. We also have access online to where patients can make appointments, and we even offer telemedicine as well.
What do you see as the future of Santa Fe? Being in Santa Fe, business in Santa Fe, family in Santa Fe, what do you see happening in the future?
I see a lot of growth. I mean, it's already starting to grow some, and I think that our current mayor is trying to make the city better and do a lot of good things. So I think there will be more businesses coming into town and just a lot of growth over the next few years.
Are you friends with the mayor on Facebook?
I am.
Yeah, because he'll post updates that are really cool, and it's different.
Jason Tabor, right?
That's right. And he'll just kind of give updates. Hey, I had a meeting. This is what's on the docket, or not necessarily in that wording, but he'll say this is what's planned. This is what's going on. So that's really cool to have that. It's a small town feel, but there's a lot of growth that's already happened, and there's a lot of potential for more growth, and he's just keeping people updated on that, like businesses are coming in. It's exciting.
Well, I think it helps too because he's a graduate of Santa Fe, so I think people really have a lot of respect for him, and they know that he has the best interest at heart. I mean, he obviously lives in the city and wants to see what's best for Santa Fe happen. So
That's awesome. So tell us, I want to know this. I don't know if you can say this or not. Give us one of the most crazy stories that you had.
ER life or like at the family practice life? I feel
Oh.
like those
Yeah,
are
there's a
like
big difference.
Two
Big
different
difference.
stories. Maybe one from both.
let's see.
maybe keep it PG-13.
Yeah, that's kind of going to be
PG.
difficult.
Well, I'm sure you see a wide range of things that come into an ER. Like some things are probably like, well, you probably didn't have to come, and some things are like, this is an emergency. It's life and death, right?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting working in the ER. I have experience working in Lake Jackson and in some places in Houston as well. And some of the worst things we see actually drive up. People, I guess when something really bad happens, they don't want to wait for EMS, so they'll just bring somebody in that, a gunshot wound or whatever. So that's always interesting.
Wow.
In Lake Jackson, we get a lot of near drownings and that kind of stuff from the mouth of the
What's
Brazos
the name
and
of the
Surfside
hospital
down
there?
Brazosport.
Okay, I was born. There's only one hospital in Lake Jackson, right?
Right.
Is it at least 33 years old? 'Cause
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's where I was born.
That's where you were
Okay.
born.
In Lake Jackson Hospital. I was I was raised in Angleton. So I was 10 and I moved to Lamarck, and now I'm glad I'm here. Small fact. There's going to be a quiz on that later, and I hope y'all are paying attention,
You
writing
might
that
win
down.
a free T-shirt.
What I was supposed to
Then
go
we
to
did it. Gardy's T-shirt that he's wearing now.
I have on it's just a gray shirt.
Oh, okay. You can win it.
I really like this shirt. I don't think I'd give it away.
Don't give it away.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the ER life. What about family practice life?
Family practice, we, for the most part, things are pretty calm. But every now and then we have somebody come in and they may not have insurance, so they try to come to us first. So I've had a lot of lacerations and stuff that have been interesting. I did pull a pretty long piece of wood out of the back of a guy's leg.
How
so
long
that was
are we talking?
interesting. It was about 3 inches.
Was it like a splinter, or like
A real big splinter, yeah.
Okay, man. Whenever I was a kid, I guess because I don't see my son getting splinters like this anymore. Maybe because he's not outside as much as I was because all the stuff they have. But I remember getting splinters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was a thing. Like for some reason, I'm just like swinging around telephone poles and trying to climb it, and I'm just like falling and splinters everywhere. I'm like, Mom, what do I do?
So the one thing that I had when I was in first grade, there was a thing where if you got perfect attendance through the entire school year, you would get to go to the county fair for free. Like, you would get the wristband so you could ride all the rides for free. Nice. I was running late that morning. Imagine that. And
I'm shocked. That doesn't sound like
right?
you at
I was
all.
running behind, and I ran out of the house, and I stepped on a board that had nails.
Oh.
Went through my foot, pulled it out, kept running to school, sat through the entire day with this nail. I had to go to the emergency room after school, but I was not going to miss because I wanted to go to the county fair for free. And I did it, but I had that nail stuck in my foot all through school. It was great.
Is that what's wrong with your feet?
Maybe
Is that where you're missing a foot? I didn't know. Is that the story why you have a fake foot?
Better saw it off.
Wow, the more you
Saw it
know.
off.
That's not real. We're just joking. You know, he has both of his
I have
feet.
both my feet. They just, one smells worse than the other.
Is there a medical condition for that we should look at? Like, if somebody has some weird stuff going on
Smelly
with their feet?
feet.
Yeah, there's some fungal stuff that can cause that.
But what about diet? Like, is there something he could do, like changing like his intake of, like, maybe not as much garlic or cheese or dairy? Anything?
Yeah, that's a great question that I'm not real sure the answer of.
Just wondering.
Can we talk a little bit about your shirt? Because I love this community. I love Santa Fe. I love Hitchcock. We're in the backyard over here in Lamarck, right down Delaney Road. Our studio is not today because we're at Legacy Collision, but last year this community was kind of rocked. Talk a bit about why you have this shirt on today and why it's important for this community to stay strong.
So actually, I guess I got to give you a little bit of background. So my office is about a mile from the high school on Highway 6. So that particular morning I was out front, I was on the phone, and I saw a bunch of emergency vehicles start to pass. And, there's a lot of wrecks in front of the high school, kids driving and stuff. So I kind of thought, just an ordinary deal. So I kept seeing more and more, and then I saw some unmarks go down that direction. And since I'm emergency trained, I thought, well, let me drive down there and make sure everything's okay. So I drove down there, and I saw everybody being evacuated. And I kind of knew at that point what was going on. We had a couple of threats, and I just had that feeling. So I looked on Facebook, and I immediately went and got my kids out of school at the junior high because I wasn't sure, what was going to happen where or what was going on. We didn't know much about anything. So.
Right.
Took them home, and I actually went back up there to help out. I called the 911 operator, and I was like, hey, I'm emergency trained. Do y'all need help? So I went up there, and I think that, the biggest thing that it just rocked the community so hard because everybody knows everybody. So it hit so close to home for everyone involved, even people that don't have kids or that don't have kids in the school district. But the community really came together, and it was, I think there were several good things that came out of it. Obviously, a lot of tragedy, but there's a lot of good that came from what happened. But it was a big thing for the community. I think had it been a bigger school district, it may not have hit as hard, but like I said, everybody knows everybody. And
Small
a lot of
town,
them,
yeah.
I mean, a lot of them were my patients. I have family members of the victims that we see on a regular basis. So it's very close to home, very personal for everybody in the community.
Yeah, that was a difficult time. Santa Fe and even the county, but a tragedy. Trying to take and make some good come out of it. I think Santa Fe, Santa Fe strong. Looking at your shirt, it says Santa Fe strong, but like being stronger today and more tightly knit and just loving on one another and not necessarily using it to push an agenda in the news. Like sometimes places happen, it's like, no, that's not what this is about. We're going to be a community, we're going to come together, love on one another, heal and get on. And Santa Fe is going to grow. Santa Fe is going to get more business and not be remembered for this. When you think of Santa Fe, Texas, you're going to think of something different.
And I think it was, after everything happened, I think one of the best things was that everybody in the community was, there was a lot of political agendas being pushed, and everybody in the community was just, no, get out of here with that. We're dealing with this. We need to grieve. We need to deal with this. We're not trying to push anything one way or the other. And actually, kept the press out. I know there was like a biker group that came and lined up in front of the high school to keep the press away so the kids could go to the crosses and you know, remember their friends and everything. So I think that was really, really great.
Yeah,
and I do think we're stronger now because of it.
Yeah, whenever I think of Santa Fe, I think of Santa Fe strong. You know, that's like literally these are like prayers that I know we were praying.
Mm-hmm.
That whenever you thought of Santa Fe, you weren't going to think of tragedy. You like literally, you know, there's some places, other towns where, oh, you know, you think of you hear that city name and oh, that's what happened. But like, no, that's not what our area is going to be labeled and remembered by. When you think of Santa Fe, you're going to think of strong. You know, that's what it's about. Not a I don't know. But right now you're listening to 99.5 FM. This is KHEAradio.com. It's Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. Right now, it's 10 o'clock. We're super excited to be broadcasting from Hitchcock, Texas at Legacy Collision, where we're learning about everything that has to do with Dr. Nikki. We've been learning about Fub on Me. We've also been learning about Legacy Collision, where they have been repairing cars, putting them back together, using I was gonna say gluing them back together, but I think they might use something a little bit stronger than that, and I don't want to go on air saying something that's not quite correct. But she did use a term. What did she say? Like, was it Bondo? Or I said, I want to smell some Bondo. There's certain smells that kind of remind you of a time of your life, and I have that. But that's kind of what I gathered from her. So.
Yes. Yeah, it's great to see some of the stuff that's going on behind us. We hope that in the future you never have to come and use Legacy Collision. But if you do, it's right here in our backyard. One more time before we switch over to our 10 o'clock guest, which is going to be the new chief of police here at Hitchcock. I just wanted to say, can you tell people how they can get in contact with you and where they can go to get more info?
We have our website at www.yourfamilyhealthcare.org. Our phone number for the office is 409-316-9085. And then we also have a Facebook page. Just look up Your Family Healthcare, and there's a lot of good information on any of those places.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Hopefully we can come visit your office soon. I was trying to think of the best way.
Absolutely. You don't have to get sick to come visit, though.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, hopefully I don't have to come visit, but hopefully we get to visit for different reasons.
Like,
Just
come and do
check
a
it out.
video. Maybe you can pop a few pimples on my foot or something.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect. Yes.
That's
We'll
what
just-
everybody wants.
Yeah, YouTube Live. We'll do it.
YouTube Live it.
Well, we appreciate you.
Thank you
so much. It was
guys.
nice meeting you,
You
Nikki.
too.
Right. This is 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. It's 10:01. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us. If you're watching on Facebook, share this video out. Go ahead and share the stream out. Feel free to ask questions. We're going to have the brand new chief of police right here in Hitchcock, Texas, in the Legacy Collision Studios. We're in the shop. We're in the middle of the action. We have a lot of fun lined up. We're going to be learning about everything. How to get out of traffic tickets in Hitchcock. No, we're not going to be learning that. We're going to be learning about
Get out of jail free card?
No.
Like in Monopoly? No.
How you doing today, sir? We got the chief of police in Legacy Collision. So we are in Hitchcock. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, sir. How you doing?
Doing good. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself? If somebody is not familiar with you, what is your name and I guess your official job title?
My name is Wilman Smith, and I am the chief of police in Hitchcock, Texas.
And you're brand new to this position, right? How long have you been the chief of
50
police?
days even.
50 days.
He's
Yes,
like,
sir.
I marked it on the calendar.
50 days.
You know how presidents have like the 120-day plan? He's like, my 50-day plan is this. Be on KHEA
Absolutely.
Radio, live from Legacy Collision.
That is a goal, and we have achieved it.
I love it. So 50 days into the job, can you kind of share a little bit about your background, I guess? Are you from this area? Did you come from somewhere else to be put in this position?
Actually, I'm not from this area originally. I'm originally from a town called Destrehan, which is in Louisiana. It's about 20 miles from New Orleans. I'm a graduate of Destrehan High School, class of 81. Go Wildcats.
That's what I'm talking about. Angleton, I'm from Angleton. Angleton's Wildcats, too, so I'm familiar
Okay.
with that.
I retired from the Department of Public Safety with about 29 years, almost 30 years service. The last 3 years I was with the Harris County District Attorney's Office as an investigator. And, of course, now as of January the 25th, I'm with the Hitchcock Police Department as the chief.
All right. So this is your you have a very large background whenever it comes to, you said, public safety and being an officer and just kind of like all over the place.
Pretty much, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got a lot of experience. Some of it good and some of it bad, but you always learn from it.
Yes.
After being here for 50 days and in this position, what is the one thing that you've learned about this community, and how can you in the next 50 days learn more about what's going on?
I think that one of the things that we've tried to do to find out what's going on in the community is to get out and talk with the residents. Initially, when I first took office, my first or second day, I was out knocking on doors and talking to residents and getting their concerns and getting their thoughts about the direction that we need to go and some of the issues and concerns that they have as citizens. In that time, I've kind of put it out to all of the officers, hey, look, we want to make this a program where we go out and we visit with the community members and get their thoughts and their input about the things that they're concerned about and see what we can do going forward. With that, we've implemented a program called Are You OK? And that's a program that's targeting our seniors. Our seniors are often very neglected. They go through a lot. As you get older, you often have all kind of problems. Victims of fraud, some type of abuse, assault, sometimes depression, loneliness, and as officers, I feel it's important that we just knock on doors and identify these seniors and try to get a feel for their concerns and make them know that we care about them and that they are part of our society, and we want to do our best to make to increase their quality of life. So just going forward, we've started that program, and we've had pretty good success in talking with our seniors and just the citizens here in Hitchcock in general and getting a feel for what their concerns are. So that's one way that we've decided to go about it going forward.
So you mentioned about the police, the department getting to know the community. Is it important for the community to know their own neighbors in order for them to stay safe as well?
Absolutely, because you often hear of incidents in some of your larger cities, but also in some of your smaller cities where a citizen hadn't been seen in a number of days, or weeks or even months, only to find out that something tragic had happened to them and nobody had gone by to check on them. So if you've got a neighbor that you're in contact with regularly and you all know each other's names and know each other's numbers, I think that's important, that we all be in contact with each other as best we can.
Yeah, that kind of leads me to this next question. So what are some other things that somebody can do, I guess, just to stay safe, keep your house safe if you're on the road safe? What are some tips that maybe people don't automatically think of, or maybe they do, but you just need to be reminded? What are some tips where you can, keep you and your family safe?
I think one thing that you can do, you can just look around, be aware of your surroundings. A lot of times people are on their cell phones and they're not really looking up and they're not really looking around. They're not aware that somebody's about to grab their purse or somebody's about to run up behind them. I think as citizens here nowadays, I'm just seeing too many instances where so many people are on their cell phones when they probably should be paying closer attention. Just around your house, you can look at some of your shrubbery. Do you have some trees or some bushes that need to be cut back or pruned? Do you have any sort of obstacles that someone could hide behind? When you approach your vehicle at night, are you looking to see is there anyone around your vehicle or underneath your vehicle? Those things are very, very important. And you can also look at your residence. Are your windows locked? Are your doors secure? It's just important to make sure that you are constantly aware of your surroundings and just doing daily checks of your windows and your doors, particularly if you have people in and out of your house, to make sure that everything's secure and that everything's locked down the way it should be.
So the way people communicate now a lot of times is through social media. Are y'all finding that the city of, the Hitchcock Police Department is able to communicate to people through social media? Is that something y'all have implemented?
We just started our Facebook account, and that is one of the ways that we're communicating. We're also working on getting our Twitter account going. You can follow us on Twitter at Hitchcock Police, and we're also working on getting our Instagram account going. So that's one of the ways that we are communicating. Yes, sir.
On Twitter, I follow, I'm from Nebraska. I follow the Omaha Police Department. They have a really good Twitter account. And it's really funny because some of the police officers will actually go in there and be like, on the scene of another accident, it's just really, and it's like, they do like funny little gifts. Is that something that you guys plan to do? Is it going to be more like serious approach?
We're going to use it in every way that we think it's going to be to our advantage to communicate. So whatever way that we see that we can use it to get the word out, that's how we'll use it.
Yeah. What we have found is that different social media platforms, reaches different ages. So it depends on, who you're trying to reach. Sometimes if you're trying to meet your neighbors, I know you mentioned, hey, we need to check on our senior citizens.
Yes, sir.
Make sure they're okay. They're probably not going to be on Instagram or Snapchat or any of those. They're going to knock on the door. That's how they're going to want to communicate.
Right. Yes, sir. I would agree with that.
So
yes, sir.
the younger audience, you may reach them on Instagram. Is there any? Because sometimes I don't know if this is fair to say, but sometimes police officers can get a bad, a reputation, or people have like, oh no, whenever they get pulled over, you tense up and be nervous, and so. Like if you're younger or old, I guess it just depends.
You're right on that. I think a lot of your anxiety could be a result of your life experiences, and I think what we are pushing here now as an agency is to be very community oriented. I want my officers to go out and conduct themselves as professionals, and let people know that we are here for them. We're here to serve the community. And that we're going to do our best to answer any of their concerns, but also make sure that people are safe. On some of the traffic stops, we've been doing a lot of traffic stops in the Hitchcock area lately, asking people to slow it down, asking people to be mindful of the stop signs, because we're getting a lot of complaints from the citizens. We're getting complaints from the fire department about a lot of the accidents, and a lot of those accidents are related to speed. So in the enforcement efforts that we're doing nowadays, we're trying to make sure that everyone's following the laws and obeying the rules, particularly in our school zones. We get a lot of complaints from parents about the speeding in the school zones. So we're doing our best with the manpower that we have to address those concerns, and we hear what people are saying. We're trying to act on it.
Is this your first radio interview that you've done?
In the 50 days?
I am sitting here terrified, but we're gonna make it through this.
You know why? Because you're actually doing really, really good. Like I feel like your voice and just your demeanor and everything, it's like you've done radio before.
Be calm and cool to be an officer.
Well, thank you. I think it's the good Lord just kind of working me through this. I'm going to be dead honest with you.
You mentioned the manpower that you'll have. How many officers are on staff here in Hitchcock?
We have 13 officers, and we also have one code enforcement officer.
What does that mean, a code enforcement officer?
The code enforcement officer is a part-time officer that we have that's actually in charge of going around making sure that the codes are being followed within the city, making sure that the houses are being constructed in compliance with code, making sure that just basically any ordinance that we have regarding housing is being properly followed.
In the next couple years, do y'all have any plan for Hitchcock Police? I mean, are y'all going to be, growing or maybe hiring in the future? And if so, who would be a good candidate to potentially become an officer?
Well, I anticipate with the growth that's coming to Galveston County that there's going to be an increase because a lot of the, I think, new residents will be moving into Hitchcock, because if you look at Hitchcock, we got a lot of unincorporated areas right now, and the areas that there's just absolutely no housing. So we've got room for growth in Hitchcock. And I think that as more people discover Hitchcock and what we're about and the direction that we're trying to go, that more people are going to be trying to come this way. Right now, we've got 13 officers there. I think down the line, we're going to be developing a plan of that to increase our staff. But that's something that we'll be getting together with our new city administrator, Miss Marie Gillis, and talking with her on. She's going to help to develop those plans along with her staff, and we'll implement them going forward as necessary.
Do you know how many people are inside of Hitchcock? Like how large is Hitchcock right now?
I think it's around 7,800 citizens that are in Hitchcock. Yes, sir.
And then there's a lot of growth that looks like it's coming to our area, Galveston County in general. It's just moving down.
Absolutely. If you look at the northern end of the county, that's where the majority of the population is, and you can see it as you drive south on I-45 on the service roads. Lamarck is starting to fill up some, according to their chief, and There's not really a whole lot of places to go in Galveston County other than maybe Hitchcock. So y'all come on.
All right, so I got two things. First of all, if you need someone to run your Twitter page for Hitchcock, I think we can let our intern Ethan do it. He's coming up with some really funny puns over here.
Okay.
He's hilarious.
He said, "What do you call the Garden Police?" And he said, "Law and Order."
Law and Order.
Law and Order. Okay, that's a good one.
And then somebody said that they should arrest you, and I think we got some handcuffs. We can start there.
Yes, we do have some handcuffs.
And he said, "What should my punishment be?"
Punishment be. Okay, that's a good one. That's
So
a
you
good
can
one.
have Ethan if you want him. He can run your Twitter
Okay.
if you want that. And then second, speaking, you brought up the Lamarck police chief. This area, Santa Fe, Hitchcock, Lamarck, it's all kind of in the same vicinity. Like you don't even know when the next one starts and the other one begins.
You're
in some
exactly
cases.
right. You can ride through Santa Fe, Hitchcock, Lamarck, Bayou Vista, Texas City, and not really know, unless you really know, that you're leaving one city and entering the other. What I like about it is the chiefs in all of these agencies, we meet pretty regularly, and we talk and we communicate and we talk about some of the things that we see as problems. We're all having some of the same issues regarding manpower, maybe regarding some resources, regarding communications personnel. We're all having some of the same issues, but we're talking about them and we're trying to work through them as best we can with the resources that we have.
So that would be pretty important to work together. If like somebody is speeding, like in here, and then like, oh, well, you're in Santa Fe now, but I mean, it doesn't matter. You still have you can pull them over or address the situation or just have to talk to them, right?
Yes, we all work together. We can communicate on the radios with their officers,
Okay.
and they can communicate with us, and we can take enforcement action as needed and as necessary. Yes, sir.
Okay. Who is the chief of police for Lamarck?
The chief for Lamarck is Lachief Jackson.
Okay. So you've been on the job for 50 days now, and this is something that always comes up, and it's not necessarily officer related, but everybody eats. You've been here for 50 days. Are there some places in Hitchcock that you have found some good food where you just have really grown to love?
Actually, I don't know the name of the place, but there's a Mexican food place right there on 2004, right here at Highway 6.
Is it El Sombrero?
I guess that may be it.
Ooh,
but
we
I
went there the other day.
Yeah.
I do go there regularly. And I don't know the name of the dish, but I call it a number 4. And they understand what I'm saying, so it works out.
You just do this, hold up 4 fingers, and that works as well.
Hey, so do you like tacos? Are you a big taco guy?
I like tacos.
You're on Facebook, right?
No, sir.
No, you're not
No,
on
sir.
Facebook.
No, sir, I'm not.
Why not Facebook?
I think I know why.
Well, I think it's one of those deals where I'm getting there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I've got a young staff, and they're very computer savvy, and they're helping me through a lot of my issues. But I will be getting on Facebook shortly.
Being a police officer and being on Facebook, like it almost seems like you have to be more careful because there's a standard that you have to keep being a police officer.
Right.
I would think so. I think that as an officer, you have to be mindful of your post, and not only as an officer, but as an employee. We have to be mindful of our posts because I believe that you're kind of held to a higher standard, and the things that you post may be you're representing yourselves, but you're also representing the agency that you work for. And so I think that we need to be maybe civil with our post and make sure that we are operating the way the good Lord would want us to operate.
That's probably really good advice for everybody, actually, because a lot of times we forget that there's somebody on the other side of the phone. There's somebody on the other side of the screen.
Yes. I think that a lot of times the social media can be used as a platform to communicate in a bad way. And I think that personally, I kind of like the personal approach where if you have a problem, you go to the person and you talk to them. And I know that's not always possible, but I would like to see us be more civil with our tone, especially on social media. Yes, sir.
Can we talk a little bit about school safety? I saw the other day Texas City ISD is putting out a $1 million project to revamp their security at schools. What is Hitchcock doing in terms of school safety to to kind of help? How are you as the police chief working with the school district to bring school safety?
Well, I'll tell you this. We have a active shooter course that's set up with the Hitchcock Independent School District. That's set up on the 26th of this month. Their chief has gotten with our captain, and we're going to be doing some training with their police department. So beyond that, I really can't say what else we have planned, but I do know that this active shooter training is something that we all take very seriously. And going forward, we're going to make sure that all of the officers with the Hitchcock Police Department are familiar with all of the schools in the area and exactly what they need to do in the event that there's some sort of incident.
Right now it's 10:19 a.m. This is 99.5 FM. It's KHEAradio.com. If you're watching on Facebook, share this video out. Feel free to ask some questions. If we have an opportunity, we will go ahead and ask those. I did want to ask, whenever it comes to normal civilians like me and Kurt, is it important for us as individuals to have some kind of training? And if so, what kind of training should we get? Like any kind of self-defense or, concealed carry? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that's something that has to be left to the individual because everyone has to look at their own life experiences and what makes them comfortable, and they have to decide what level are they prepared to go to protect themselves. I like the idea of concealed carry, but that's not for everyone.
Right.
So I think that each individual kind of needs to look at it, what their individual goals are in order to answer that question, and kind of go from there.
Okay, yeah. I recently put my son into martial arts, and I know
Cool.
they're always asking me like, "Hey, when are you gonna go?" And I was like, "Man, that would be good because right now I have not much training, whenever it comes to that kind of stuff, but just be able to protect myself and my family enough to get away, or diffuse a situation and peace out."
But I will also say this, with those types of training, there's also an amount of discipline that's required. You have to know the laws and the rules and the regulations and know when to act and when not to act, and not put yourself in a position where you can be over your head. So because I think sometimes training may give someone a bit of confidence, but sometimes you can have the training but lack the skills necessary to carry out what it is you're trying to do, and you can end up in a bad situation.
Yeah,
so,
worse than
yes,
it would have been.
Absolutely.
Donna Williams, thank you for asking a question. If you are watching right now on our Facebook stream, if you're listening over the FM, you can ask a question as well. If you're listening over the FM, you can give us a call or a text at 346-704-1806. Donna says, will the department offer an Explorers program? I don't know much about that.
Let me talk about this. Right now, we're going to, on the 10th of April, we'll be starting our Citizens on Patrol Academy, and that's going to be at the PD, at the library, and it's going to be every Wednesday night from 6 to 10 p.m., 3 hours. Right now, we're accepting applications for our Citizens on Patrol program. You can submit an application. You can pick one up at our police department, and you can submit it there at the police department. We're going to be taking about maybe 15 to 20 individuals for our Citizens on Patrol program. As far as the kids, we're going to have Milk and Cookies with a Cop, where we will read to kids ages 3 to 5. That's going to be held at some of the schools and also the library, and it's going to be sponsored by the police department. Child safety seat inspection program. If you bring your child safety seat in your vehicle to the PD, Captain Underwood will show you how to properly install it. Let's see what else we got.
I will say this, Kurt. I saw your eyes light up whenever he mentioned the milk and cookies in the at the department.
And for me to be a police officer, it's a win-win.
I saw your eyes. There was like a little twinkle, and you kind of looked at me and just kind of said, "Yeah, like me." And I was like, "Kurt,
milk and cookies? I would be the milk and cookies if I was with the."
And what I noticed about that is there's something for a little bit of everybody, all ages. And is that important to get children that are at a young age introduced to being comfortable with the police officers?
I think so. I think the younger the better. When I was a kid, we often ran from police officers. We would just see a police car and we'd take off running just because. And I would run with them because I really didn't know any better. and only to find out, police officers can really be your best friend. And so they're everyday people, and it helps to know who the police officers are. And I don't think that there should be any sort of fear or intimidation when we're dealing with police officers. What we're trying to do now is to break down some of those barriers, and that's part of why we're knocking on doors and introducing ourselves and letting folks know, hey, we're here to serve the community, because that's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Do people sometimes get worried whenever if there's an officer knocking on the door?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny because I knock on folks' door, my officers knock on folks' door, and the first thing, what do we do? And we say, hey, look, I'm Officer so-and-so. We're just here to introduce ourselves. And they're looking at you kind of crazy, like, really?
Yeah.
We just want to let you know that we're here to serve you and find out if you got any issues or if there's anything that we can help you with. And, of course, the officers are very, very diligent in writing down those concerns and bringing them back. We're compiling a list of our seniors and letting everyone know that we're available, and we're going to do what we can to service the public. So that's what it's all about here at Hitchcock PD.
Something that is very popular on TV and has been popular since I can remember are police officer shows. I'm thinking
Law and Order,
NYPD Blue. There's always an officer, TV program drama, even comedies. Reno
Brooklyn
911. Yeah, and that one as well. The Brooklyn one as well. Even the dramas, does any of that kind of remotely resemble what actually happens at police stations?
In some cases, police officers can be the world's biggest cut-ups. And we laugh about things that maybe most people wouldn't, but we do have a lot of fun. The job can be very stressful, so it's good to have a sense of humor. I think that laughing at yourself and laughing at each other, it's nothing wrong with that. And I'm a pretty big cut-up. And so I like to have fun. My wife has a bunch of girlfriends, and I give them all grief every time I see them. So I think it's important to have a sense of humor, and you can't take the job that serious where you don't laugh and cut up and enjoy working with one another.
Wait, one more thing, Kurt, before you ask that. But one of the first reality TV shows that I can actually remember being on is Cops.
Oh, yeah. Cops was huge.
Wait, I think it's still on. I mean, I still see it.
It was
I don't
on
know if they're
Fox,
filming
right?
new ones, but
Bad boys. What
Yeah.
you gonna do?
And I wonder if Cops did more harm for the thought of officers, I suppose, or if it did.
I think it's a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Because I think often with those shows they give up maybe a lot of the techniques in some of the way that police go about doing their business. But also it can serve as a deterrent because who wants to be a part of this? So it can cut both ways, like anything else.
Sarah, her husband, actually, he's a HPD officer, and she's watching. So she is one of the owners, her and her sister, of Prepping Sisters. And so we had the opportunity to meet him, but he has a background in radio. He was on college radio in West Virginia, and then I was asking him, I was like, well, how did you end up being a police officer? And he was kind of sharing that experience. But there's people from all walks of life that end up being a perfect police officer.
Absolutely. To me, I think it starts with a willingness to serve. You've got to have a servant's mentality to go into this particular occupation if you're serious about it, if you're not just here just to collect the check. And that's what we're looking for at the Hitchcock Police Department. If you are serious about serving the community, then that's what we want, and we want those kind of applicants and those kind of officers.
He pointed at me when he said that. I don't know if he knew that I was just wanting it for the paycheck or to walk around with the badge on. Be like, yeah, that's right. I'm a citizen police officer.
Well, there was a program that was taking place not too long ago. Was it with League City Police Department?
Lamarck.
That you were looking into.
Yeah, it was on every Thursday night or so. So it's part of most officer or most police stations to have a citizens patrol.
Absolutely. I'm very familiar with the Lamarck Citizens Police Academy. Matter of fact, Chief Jackson and I just had this conversation last week. He told me that they were partnering with the Texas City Police Department and that a lot of the groundwork had already been done. And so based on that conversation with him, we implemented our own Citizens Police Academy. And so we're going to have the same type of program set up here in Hitchcock starting on April the 10th. So I think it's very important that we have these collaborative efforts between the police department and the community. And it shows the community, it gives the men and women in the community an idea about what police officers actually experience, what they go through because in these programs you'll get lectures, you'll get classroom lectures, you'll get ride-alongs, you get to go to the firing range. So you get to experience a little bit of what it's like to be a police officer and see what we as officers go through on a daily basis.
So here's a comment from Sabrina. She said, "We are blessed to have you as our chief. Thank you for introducing all these new programs and reaching out to our seniors."
Thank you, Miss Sabrina. I do appreciate you, and I appreciate all of the positive comments. But you know, it's a combined effort. You know, I've got a pretty good staff of officers. We look out for each other. We love each other, and we're trying to do our best to do what we can do to bring the city of Hitchcock forward.
I'm sure this happens. I mean, having 13 officers, and sometimes police vehicles can probably get a little scuffed up. I'd imagine sometimes things happen. Me as a civilian, sometimes like, hey, there's a curb, and I'm like,
Why are you sharing
Oops.
stories about that one time that I was at the grocery store and I opened up my door and it hit a Hitchcock police officer's car?
wow. Anyways, I'm sure you had to take that car somewhere. You know, and Legacy Collision has been here in the community, I think, since July is when they opened.
And they have worked on a number of our cars already, I'm told.
That's what I was wondering. Because it makes sense, like, you know, Hitchcock, supporting Hitchcock business. Sometimes it just happens, right?
What is the importance of being able to work with businesses in Hitchcock?
It's very, very important. You know, here in Hitchcock, we want to do all that we can do to get businesses to come this way. We need more businesses here in Hitchcock, and we need to show a willingness to work with them. There's a lot of things that you would have to work to establish a business here in Hitchcock, but we want folks to know that, hey, we will work with you in any way that we possibly can. We want to know all of our business owners. We want to know their names. We want to know their phone numbers. So in the event that there's something that happens, they can pick up the phone and they can call us, and if we have to get in touch with them, we can pick up the phone and we can call them. So those relationships are very, very important. You know, when I first got to Hitchcock, I told my officers relationships are the most important tool that you'll have as an officer. You've got to reach out to the community and let them know that you are available and that you're accessible. And so the same goes with the businesses. We've got to reach out to the businesses and let them know that, hey, we are here to serve you too. It's not just the residents in the communities.
Is there anything off the top of your head, business-wise, that Hitchcock has room for, whether it's like a local coffee shop or a racetrack?
Well, if I have another resident tell me that we need HEB, because every time I talk to someone, what do you think we need in Hitchcock? We need an HEB. We need a grocery store. That's the thing that we're hearing a lot about, and I can tell you it's something that's going to be worked on. But I think that so much of what we can do as citizens is we can start by being good stewards of what we've already have. We need to do a better job of trying to clean up our area. We have a lot of trash in the Hitchcock area that we're trying to get cleaned up. We're working on tightening up some of our city ordinances. We're working on getting with AmeriWaste and getting some of the trash picked up that has been kind of just laying there for a while. So as citizens, if you see something that needs to be cleaned up, in meeting with AmeriWaste yesterday, they told us if you put something out there that needs, and it's bulky and it needs to be picked up, to make sure and give them a call. It's just not as simply just placing it beside the road and hoping that somebody's going to pick it up. You have to schedule, it has to be scheduled. On certain days they'll come out and they'll pick these things up. So we need to make sure that we are doing our best to all be a part of helping to make Hitchcock beautiful.
You're listening to 99.5 FM KHEA Radio. We also stream live on KHEAradio.com. We've been streaming live today on location in Legacy Collision outside of our studio, just down the road from KHEA Radio. And it's kind of cool because we're able to see kind of everything that's going on. They're painting some cars. I see some lights up. They're fixing up all the things that you have that you possibly could have in your car. So come on down to Hitchcock. If you haven't been down here, you can actually fix up your car if you need some of that going on. I wanted to ask really fast about your nickname, Smitty, and then if you wanted to tell, do you take phone calls? Can people talk to you if they have any concerns? Can you give some information about that?
Yes. Well, Smitty is a nickname that I've had for years. When I was in the military, in the military we often refer to each other by your last name. So that's where Smitty came from. As far as reaching me, I can be reached at the police department, area code 409-986-5559. But also, if you just need to come in and talk, you don't have to have an appointment. Just come into the lobby and tell them that you're here to see Smitty. And if it's something that I can help you with, I will be glad to sit and meet with you. If it's something that if I'm busy, I will get back with you. So feel free to leave a message, and I will get back with you. But the important thing is to know that, hey, we're going to help you one way or another, whether it be me or somebody in our office, one of our staff members. We're going to make sure that we get back with you or answer your call.
I think Curt likes your nickname because it's like the perfect
Smitty.
police chief name. Like, oh, it's Smitty. The chief or Smitty. Like, it's perfect. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
And we can't wait to have you on again. If there's ever anything that we can do to help out the Hitchcock Police, we'd love to.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time.
All right.
you.
This is 99.5 FM, KHEA Radio.com. It's Kickstart. We're going to be on till 11. We are in the Legacy Collision Studios right here in the shop, having a great time. Ethan has been giving us behind-the-scenes action, cars being painted, dents being destroyed. Everything's been awesome here today, but we appreciate you taking the time to join us. If you have any questions or you want to ask us, like, hey, can you come out to my place? Maybe we can. Maybe we can come out to your business. Maybe you have an event going on. Let us know what you have going on. You can send us a message at KHEA Radio's Facebook page. Make sure you're liking KHEA Radio. Feel free to share this video out to your personal Facebook page. Maybe share it out to your business page.
Share it out into the Talk of Hitchcock.
There you go.
Talk of Hitchcock needs to know what's going on in their community.
Are you a member of that group? I'm not yet.
I am a member of Talk of Hitchcock. I'm a member of all of them except for Talk of Santa Fe.
Okay.
Talk of Santa Fe. Thank you so much for banning me every time I post, even if it's not.
We love
against
Santa Fe, though. We love Santa Fe.
We love Santa Fe, and we love Talk of Santa Fe. So I don't know why they keep banning me from it.
Maybe they don't like you. I don't know.
They don't like me.
There's
one
something there.
person.
It's okay,
Somehow
though.
they got a moderator status.
It's okay,
in that
though, Curt.
group.
Let it go. Just let it go. Be like Elsa and let it go.
Let it go. Let
Yeah.
it go. Coming up next, we're going to be talking to Wynwood Motor Company. I think they do towing in the community, and it's going to be a lot of fun to hear what they have planned and going on.
I'm glad you have your safety glasses on because you never
I
know.
feel like you can't be in this area without the safety glasses. Like, I feel like
helps.
you could hurt your eyes or something. I don't know. Ethan's brave. He's walking around over there here at Legacy Collision, getting some shots
Yeah.
and getting some mobile cam shots, hopefully. I just looked at him. He was walking back. He's like, oh, I was just checking over there. No, we wanted some shots.
Yeah, so we're streaming live. We are on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook again, thank you for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate you. If you're listening on 99.5 FM, we're in Hitchcock right here in Legacy Collision. We are in the shop where it is going down. You've seen cars coming in and out of the garage. You have seen a lot of action take place. Curt just offered safety glasses to our guests who both have on real glasses. Real glass. I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat as you, sir, so that's why I can't wear the safety glasses. I got my seeing glasses on.
These are safety glasses, so
Well, mine are shatter resistant, but they still have a little crack in them. But I guess that's good. That's why they didn't shatter. I don't know. But can you go ahead and introduce yourself and let us know who you're with?
I'm Albert Wynwood, and I'm with Wynwood Motor Company. And the lady sitting to my right is Melissa K. Wynwood. She owns the company. I work for her.
There you go.
My dad always said, like, my mom was in charge of the company, not him.
Right, and she's in charge. We talk to Mama.
So you guys do towing and all other motor company stuff, right?
Right, we do towing, and then we have our transportation side of the business.
What does that mean as far as transportation?
We haul freight. In fact, we have a truck that's in Casper, Wyoming right now picking
Hey.
up a load.
Kurt Casper over here. You have a little history with that.
You know, I almost had a job in Casper, Wyoming. The news director at the TV station said, how cool would it be if it was Kurt Casper reporting live from Casper Courthouse in Casper, Wyoming, and they were, like, laughing about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to go work in Casper, Wyoming if you think it's that funny.
Yeah.
Were you offended?
I was. I
little
was
bit,
like, come on. Well, I was also offended by the paycheck. They were going to offer me only $17,500 for the entire year.
Hey, that's a good-
$17,500?
That's a good deal.
Oh my gosh! This was like, and I was like, oh, that was like in 1970. I'm like, I'm not that old, I promise. They haven't updated their salary since.
Wow. So, Wynwood Motor Company, y'all will haul freights. On your shirt, I see it says auto sales. Do you sell?
We do.
vehicles?
We sell vehicles.
Is it specialized vehicles or any kind?
We like to do affordable cars. We don't get into the high end cars. We do like pickup trucks and
Curt, you need a pickup truck.
family vehicles.
So, do you also do trades? Like, if I turned in my Jeep Compass, would you guys take that?
We do sometimes. It just depends on the vehicle.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now.
Don't tell them.
Okay,
Don't tell them about the Jeep Compass. They already said yes. They said
She
yes.
says sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So where are y'all located?
We're in Santa Fe. We're located on the west end of Santa Fe, which is actually called Algoa. We have been in business 19 years. We'll start our 20th year in April.
Wow. So
20 years in this area.
So, do y'all have a pretty good relationship with Legacy Collision? Is this something is there ever a way y'all can work together, being in the industry?
We do. They call us if they have vehicles that need to be towed in that have been in accidents. We also have, we tow a lot for some of the different insurance companies. And so a lot of them have contracts with priority shops, and so they'll have us bring vehicles here. And the longer they're here, the more people hear about them, and their customers are having us bring vehicles here. We take vehicles anywhere. So.
Yeah. Well, like Casper, Wyoming.
Well, we'll take them there, too, if you want to pay the price.
Yeah. If somebody is looking to get like a towing service, do y'all have a range where y'all kind of work in service, or is it?
We seriously go anywhere.
Anywhere?
Yeah, with the towing. We have had customers in hunting season that we've gone to Bernie and picked up. We had a customer who his son broke down in Kingsville at college, and we went down there and picked him up.
Kingsville is a ways away, isn't it?
Is that normal
It
for
is.
most towing companies, or is that something a little different?
Well, we take care of our customers.
Yes.
So that's what we have to do to take care of them. If for some reason we can't get to them, we are part of the State Towing and Storage Association, and what we do is we have a roster of people that we know, and we can find a good, reliable tow service that can help them out in the immediate sense. It's one thing if you're broke down on the side of the road. It's another if you've had an accident, you're in the road. They can't wait 3 or 4 hours for us to get there.
Yeah.
So,
Y'all have been in business for 20 years in the same Santa Fe location.
yes.
Are y'all locally from this area?
We grew up in Hitchcock.
Okay.
So we grew up, graduated from Hitchcock. Albert graduated in 71. I graduated in 73. And then at some point in our married lives, we just moved up the road a bit to Santa Fe.
How long have y'all been married?
32 years. We'll be married 33 in September.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What's it like having a shop or business in the area that you grew up?
It means a lot. For one thing, you know a lot of people, and we got into this business because we wanted to help people. So Albert was a volunteer firefighter for 36 years. He recently retired. So you not only grew up in this area and know people, but he spent 36 years
For
helping
Hitchcock?
people. For Santa Fe.
Santa Fe.
Yeah.
So last year we had the opportunity to go to the firefighter games, and this year we're going to be back over there as well. Last year we also got to judge the cooking competition. It was like fajitas and some other stuff, which is a blast. I'm assuming. Have you been to the firefighter games before? I would assume, yeah. 36 years as a firefighter. That's a long time.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah, and as a volunteer firefighter, because I think most of them are volunteers around here, right?
They are.
Yeah. What is probably one of the I'm trying to see if there's a story you could share about being a firefighter. I'm sure you've had the opportunity to help a lot of people over the years.
I can remember one, and bless her heart, she had Alzheimer's, but she remembered us because we came to her house and helped her, and the sheriff's department had came out there because her husband could not control her, and she was right on Highway 6, and they were afraid she was going to get hurt. and they needed to take her to Galveston, and she was fighting them to get in the back of the ambulance, and then she was fighting them to get in the police car. And she says, I want that. Of course, I was much younger then. She says, I want that good-looking fireman to come and be with me so that I'm not alone
So
in the
did the
police
whole
car.
the whole like fire crew automatically know? They're like, oh yeah.
No, they called me at home, and and of course I knew the deputy that was on duty, and he says, "Can you please come out here?" So I went out there, and her and I rode in the back of the police car to the hospital, so that she wouldn't, and it's that kind of stuff. And to this day, I still get calls about
the good-looking firefighter. They need the good-looking firefighter to come and ride to get people to different places.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, I still get calls to help people in that community because they knew I was part of the fire department, which is I still am. I'm a lifetime member, so that's something you don't get rid of. You keep that.
Yeah, yeah. The firefighter game is coming up, which is a fundraising event.
Yeah.
Chris and we had Mr. Rubio on our show last year, and so we scheduled them to come back in again to talk about everything that event does. It's really neat.
It is.
So my question for you, and I heard this, I think Angie Butler was the one who kind of told me about this, but that giving mentality with being a firefighter, is that why you guys also do, if somebody locks their keys in the car, that you don't charge them for that?
As long as they're in Santa Fe, we do not charge.
Wow.
And my theory on that, they say if you give, it'll come back sevenfold, and it has, because I've had tows that have net me $900 because the guy says, if he was good enough to come out and unlock our car, then he's good enough to tow our car. And I had him, and this is just by coincidence, a man yesterday, he says, I remember you came out and unlocked my car, so can you please come tow me? And it was from League City to here.
Wow.
So,
That's pretty cool, because if you have a friend in the business or you have a plan, like what am I going to do if something happens? You got it locked in your phone, and they're reliable. They've helped you in the past. It makes sense. I'm going to go with somebody I know and trust.
Right.
And that's kind of the approach y'all take.
Right. That's what it was all about originally.
So customer service is probably at the top of the list for you guys.
Yes.
And it's been that way for how long? Have y'all been in business again?
It'll be 20 years this year. Yeah.
20 years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A lot of businesses don't make it that long. It's hard to start a business at any time. Do y'all have, and I ask this to a lot of people who have been in business for a while or even just starting, do you have any advice whenever it comes to somebody starting a business, any kind of business at all? Like, do you make that jump? Do you trust your gut? Are you hesitant? Act on a dream that you have? What is some advice that you would give to somebody who has a business that they would like to start, but they just don't know? Like, some advice.
Ask advice. Yeah. Ask other people.
Other people who have been doing it for a while.
Well, and don't expect to be rich overnight. Don't expect, when we first started, we paid all the business bills, made sure that the truck notes were paid and the insurance was paid so we could continue to do business. I think too many young people think that they start their own business, then they pay themselves before they pay anything else, and we haven't found that to be true. You have to pay yourself, but you need to be realistic and know that you have to
reinvest.
You have to reinvest into the business, and we've always done that. Another thing is you have to be active in your community. You need to take care of your customers. You need to have a relationship with them. And we have worked hard to do that. So,
yeah. Whenever you're active in the community, that can look like a ton of different things. Like, what are some ways that y'all have been able to stay active in the community?
Well, we volunteer to help with some of the different organizations. We support our football teams and our different athletes. We support the schools in all the communities that we work in. So, that helps. We're part of the Santa Fe Chamber and the Hitchcock Chamber. We're also part of the Texas City Lamarck Chamber. So you have to put your face out there. You can do the best job in the world, and if you don't be active in the community, then you're only known to the people that you help at that moment. So
being active in the community, has that changed? I mean, from 20 years ago till now? Because I mean, with technology, there's social media, even
Right.
cell phones, like you can have a phone on you. How has that changed over the years? Or has it been some of the stuff stays the same for the most part?
for the most part, it stays the same.
Mm-hmm.
It really does. It really does.
That's cool.
And you had asked something about why we were in business. One of the main reason that we're in business is because we want people to know that they can send a family member if they break down or they're involved in an accident. When Albert came up with the idea to start our business, he said, there's no one I trust in the area to send you or our 3 daughters with in a vehicle. I want people to know that they can trust that if their family member and their vehicle are taken care of, they don't have to worry about their family member being in the vehicle with them. So, because tow operators get a bad, they get a bad reputation.
Yeah.
And so we've tried to change that with our company. We're family owned. Almost everybody that works for us is family.
How many people do work for you?
We have 4 drivers. 3 of them are family. One has adopted us, so he's family too.
Family now.
He is. And then we have a son who drives our over-the-road trucks. Then Albert, my nephew Clint, works for us, and then Josh. And then we have our daughter manages our office. Her name is Amber. And then we have a part-time person in the office, and her name's Shannon. And then myself.
So you said you had 3 daughters, and then you have a son that works there?
We have 2 sons, and one of the sons.
5 kids?
Yes, 5.
And then 2 of them are working for the business.
Yes,
So it is truly a family-owned business.
it is.
Are the other children, are they just working in different industries, or what do they have to?
Well, all of them at some point have done something for us, whether they work part-time or our son Clint had worked for us for several years, and then we have a nephew Clint and a son Clint. And then he went on to work with companies that have heavy-duty trucks.
Same industry,
Yeah. Same industry, yeah.
I have to ask this question because this is probably the most important question of the entire interview.
Okay.
In all of your tow trucks, what radio station do you guys have playing?
Well,
99.5.
99.5.
Hey, there you
Right,
go.
there you go,
Of
right?
course.
That's the one, the best. Yeah. It probably depends on what the person who's driving, and then if you're towing somebody, then you have to be considerate of the passenger as well, right?
You do. You do.
I don't have my radio on when there's a passenger. And most of the time, I don't have my radio on anytime.
Yeah, just keep it
Just-
silent because you
yes.
don't want to. If you have something weird on, or not the
Yeah.
KHEA radio is weird, but you never know what the other person. It's
You're
about
exactly
customer
right.
service.
It's exactly right.
What would we have to do in order to get you, anytime you guys get into another car, or like you show up at a shop and be like, and then you actually like type in the number 99.5. I don't know how it got saved to number 1 on the program.
There you go.
That's what we do. We jump into people's cars and like switch their
Well,
radio.
we test drive. Well, we just test drive a lot of cars. We go to places and we're like, oh, what is this? Turn it on, like, this is nice.
Yeah.
And then the person who's like trying to sell the car, they're like, what? And then we're like, oh, let me see your phone. And then, boom, they like us on Facebook. So
Way to go.
that's the secret, guys. Now you know. This is 99.5 FM, KHEAradio.com. It's 10:52. We have about 8 minutes left. Right now we're talking to Wynwood Motor Company. Y'all have a social media page, right?
We do. We have a Facebook page.
And I'm looking right here. Is it Wynwood Motor Company? And that's what it is on Facebook
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
What's the best way for somebody to get a hold of y'all?
Best way is to call our office.
Mhm.
So that's the best way. And unfortunately, sometimes people will know us personally and they call our
Cell phone.
personal numbers. The problem with that is if whoever they're trying to call is either not on duty or they're out of town, then you're delaying your time for getting help. So we do suggest that people call the office number, which is 409-925-2039. And that's the best way to get a hold of us.
Because whenever it comes to your business, it's 24 hours, 7 days
It
a
is.
week. Somebody's on call.
Yes.
Y'all are available all the time.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
one time I did have to use a tow company. It was actually when we were down there in Galveston at Mod Coffee House. We were filming for Del Tigre for your business. And I got down there early to set up. I wanted to be Gardy there. I was there an hour early. I start going, and I locked my keys in my car. And I don't know why I did that. I'm like, oh, the gear's in the car, too. So I'm like calling around, like, hey, I need to get it. I found a tow company. Tow company comes down, gets me in my car. $30. But not. I should have had it happen in Santa Fe. I was like,
should have.
oh man, because it would have been free if I would have used Winwood Motor Company.
Now you know. Next time you're gonna lock your keys in the car. Maybe you only shoot video in Santa Fe now, just because you have a
I'm
friend.
never leaving Santa Fe.
a friend in the business.
Never. You know. Okay, this is my. Never
Well,
mind.
I saw Barbara from 3 Acres Food Truck Park on. Next time, you just need to lock your keys in the car at 3 Acres. Like maybe
There
every
you go.
time, just so we can hang out with you guys.
Have you ever been to 3 Acres Food Truck Park in Santa Fe?
We haven't, but our kids. Oh, you've been there.
I've been there. I moved
They opened this weekend.
some stuff for 'em.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, some cars.
Well, we don't.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't just move cars and trucks and motorcycles. We also move forklifts, small equipment,
Wow.
bulldozers. So we truly have both ends. You know, when we first started the business, of course, you have to develop a relationship with other businesses that would use you, and so in working for that, and you can't hope that people break down all the time. So what we did is we started hauling other stuff like forklifts and equipment and things like that. But like at the 3 Acres Food Park, he had moved some Connex boxes for them that they use for storage. And so so that's why he said he's been there. Our kids have all
Yeah.
been there, you know, for the fun and stuff. We've just either been working or been busy and not been able to go.
Yeah, they're open this weekend. Make sure you go check them out if you have the opportunity. 3 Acres Food Truck Park, right there. That's 1764. You know, past Walmart, the dog track. Keep going there on the right, like you're heading into Santa Fe. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. It's 10:56. We have a couple minutes left. One thing that I noticed right now, you have a team. You know, 20 years later, you've been making these relationships. You have a team of people that work for you. Day one, tow truck driver. I assume were you driving the truck and were you doing everything?
Everything.
So were you on call 24 hours a day?
One truck, one driver.
And so that was probably a little bit more, I don't know, I don't want to say stressful, but being on call all the time, that would be tough, wouldn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Very tough. Very tough.
How did you manage that?
We just did. It's something you have to do. And, you know, like your customers call you, you have to help them, you know, and you just can't, oh, I don't feel like getting out of bed. Well, you do. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
You do.
You know what I've noticed whenever it comes to business, there's always something you consider a problem. But like a real problem would have been, hey, you're not getting any calls. Like a call in the middle of the night, that means, hey, we're in business, baby. Let's go. Sometimes the growing pains aren't easy, but they're necessary. More business comes in, then you can hire more people, and you've grown it 20 years later.
Right.
Winwood Motor Company here in Santa Fe.
Right.
So-
And the thing is, people say, you know, it's foggy or it's Mardi Gras, y'all are going to be busy. That's not so. There could be no calls at all, nothing. But no rhyme or reason why
Just
things
happens, right?
happen.
have to go when they need
Yeah.
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 Cool. What's that number one more time to get a hold of y'all?
It's 409-925-2039.
And that's
Perfect.
at Winwood Motor Company on Facebook. Make sure you go check out their social media page. Reach out to them. It's good to have a friend in the business or have a plan. We're here at Legacy Collision, and that's one thing that we kind of stress. You don't ever want to necessarily need to be a customer, but it's good to have a plan what you're going to do if you need them.
Just in case. So we know that, you know, if your car gets dinged up, you need to come to Legacy Collision. If your car gets dinged up enough that you can't drive it anymore, you bring it to Legacy Collision using Winwood Motor Company.
Is there anything else y'all would like to share?
I want to say that it really has made us feel good. You ask about the social media. Sometimes our kids will tag us and say, go to this Facebook page and read. So people are saying good things about you. A lot of our business comes from word of mouth. And it really makes us proud and makes us feel good that we know that we're helping our customers and helping people in the community when you see that you've got, 25, 30, 40, 50 people who, when someone says, who should I call? I'm locked out of my vehicle. Who should I call? I'm broke down. I need to be picked up. And people recommend us. And we really appreciate that. And that is a good part of our business.
There's a ton of support on here. If you're watching on Facebook, you see the comments. If you're listening on 99.5 FM, go check out our social media page. Make sure you like KHEA Radio on Facebook. You'll see all of the recommendations, all the people giving great feedback, former customers and current clients that know what they're going to do whenever they have an issue, and that's with you guys. So I feel like we had a great show today.
We had a great show. I want to say thank you one more time to Legacy Collision. They are our partner here at KHEA Radio. If you own a business and you or an organization, you want to partner with KHEA Radio, please give us a call at 346-704-1806, or you can message us on Facebook. Also, we have an email, khea@khearadio.com. I love going on location, and so every Friday, or at least once a week, we are trying to be on location outside of a studio where we can kind of showcase what this community has to offer. We love community. We love positivity. That's our motto here at KHEA Radio, and we look forward to doing more of these shows. So I think next Friday, we're going to be live in Galveston. We haven't picked the spot yet, but we're working on that. We're actually going to be giving away a cruise through Carnival Cruise, so we have to be in Galveston because they have to let us onto the boat.
We're going to film on the boat.
Yeah, it's going to be
cool
great.
Is that? Have y'all been on a cruise before?
Oh, yes.
Is it fun?
It is. It's wonderful.
Is that something everybody needs to do?
Everybody needs to do it.
And the phone does not ring when you're on the boat.
Really? Do they have internet?
They do.
Okay, good. If I'm on a boat, I was like, I got to have internet. What am I going to do? Facebook, if you're watching on Facebook, you probably know this, but Facebook and Instagram went down for about 10 to 12 hours the other day, and it was like the social media blackout of 2019. It was terrible, but we're back.
We're back.
We're back. So life is normal.
Yeah, at Facebook, we're going to be doing that giveaway. So all you have to do to be eligible to win on that video, so just stay tuned for that. Make sure you're liking KHEA Radio, is like, share, and comment, and you have a chance to win. So we're going to be wrapping up our show. It is 11 o'clock. We have had a wonderful show. We're going to have a great week next week. A lot of people coming in. I can't wait for what's going on.
Thank you again for joining us.
Oh, thank y'all.
Today. We appreciate
y'all.
y'all.
Asking us.
And this has been Kickstart, KHEA Radio. Be blessed. Love you guys.
So special? Your cruise planner's luxury travel agent, of course. Here are 5 ways we make world-class vacations extra special. Number 1, fabulous hotels and accommodations with personalized service. Number 2, exquisite dining, so we only recommend the finest. Number 3, undiscovered places to cross off your bucket list. Number 4, brag-worthy experiences you'll never want to forget. Number 5, downtime for reading or indulging in a holistic spa treatment. Who's booking your luxury vacation? Cruise Planners, your land and cruise experts.
Hi, I'm Karen Edge, your land and cruise expert. Joshua and I specialize in fun. Across the globe, whether you are traveling by land or by sea, we've done it all to give you a true vacation edge.